Oh, hey, bitch. Oh, excuse you. Baloney wash. I'm annoyed. I'm just here to give my opinion and carry in. Oh, it's Chris Avalon Unfiltered, bitch. Hey y'all, and welcome and happy Saturday. It's your boy Chris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered, the show we basically talk about all things going on in pop culture and celebrity news, gossip, all that good stuff. So that's the show for you. Definitely tune in because we have a lot of stuff to spill in this fabulous, messy, well, predictably so, messy episode. And including, we got to talk about Lady Gaga's Gagachella performance that happened last night. So we got to talk about that. Plus, Kanye is in the news again, this time saying some vulgar stuff about Beyonce, Taylor Swift, who's now filed a cease and desist. So we'll get into that. Plus, he's claiming that he made out with Madonna and punched Ashley Olsen. Also, we got to get into, speaking of Kardashians, since that's who Kanye used to be married to, we got to talk about them out here pulling stunts and shows and frauds and things. So we're going to get into that. Will Smith, we have some not so great news about his musical comeback. Carrie Underwear on American Idol. Apparently, they're talking about the ratings are not doing so well over there. So we'll talk about that. We got to talk about this latest on Wendy Williams and this judge. I had to talk about her career's over. It's like, bitch, first of all, you don't even work in the industry. Don't be up in here trying to talk about somebody's career's over when you ain't her manager. Okay? So we got to talk about that. Plus, Wilson Cruz is dragging Terrence Howard over his little weird interview and talking about not why he don't do gay roles. Bobby Berk is talking about what's his favorite part about being a homosexual. And we got to talk about who people are deeming they would love to see win RuPaul's Drag Race Season 17. And we got to talk about Eric Dane and his recent ALS diagnosis and all of that good stuff. So we have that and a whole lot more. So before we get to said topics, if you can please do me a solid and hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. Also, after the live stream, I will be putting in timestamps so that way those who watch the post show, meaning I meant the playback after the live stream, you can actually just fast forward or click to the part that you actually want to see instead of having to sit through all the banter that I do during the live chat. So, without further ado, I see we have a comment. I will get to that after I do the first topic. So, let's get to topic number one. And that is, let me hit my banner first. Hello. Let's talk about Gagachella. So, last night I didn't get to see it. I know it came on, I think on the East Coast, it came on like 2 in the morning. I think I probably fell asleep because I was exhausted. It was like after working Mary J. Blige the night before, and then the Knicks game yesterday. I was just like burned out. So I didn't really, by the time I got, and it was raining, it was just gross in New York yesterday. So by the time I got home, I totally forgot that Coachella, well, it's funny how we talked about Coachella earlier. I was like, I forgot about Coachella until I started seeing the advertisement being mentioned all over like some of the social medias. And then I totally forgot Gaga was performing until I got home. I was like, damn, I wasn't I supposed to watch something? But apparently I saw it this morning. Like I literally, they just finished showing. It's on the main stage page on YouTube. If you go on the if you haven't seen it, you can go on because they have like all the different videos things. If you go on Coachella's YouTube page, they let you know like where everybody's going to be performing at. So if you haven't seen it, click on the main one, and then it has that one and the Missy Elliott. I watched the Missy Elliott one. The Missy Elliott one was good, but of course it's Missy Elliott. She's not going to give you no half. She ain't gonna give you no half-ass performance. Like she's gonna always turn out. So I was living for that. I actually watched that before Gaga, and then I ran to the store real quick, and then I was like, looking, I was like, something told me my gut was like, check to see when the Gaga performance comes on. So it came on like 11 something this morning, and I was like, oh, if I leave it on and I run to the store, then I could just rewind it back on the YouTube channel. Like it was a whole situation I was going through because I was like, I know I'm gonna miss a couple of minutes, so I could just rewind it back. But lo and behold, I watched the show. I thought it was good. Um, Gaga was not short on theatrics. She gave us everything and more. And I'm gonna go on. I think I'm gonna go on the record to say, in my opinion, I think this was the best performance, live performance, full out show that I have seen from Gaga in a long time. Now, everybody's out here saying that it might be the best Coachella performance, and that's what the fandom and people and stuff are saying online, hence why we're doing this story. So let's get into it, because there was even people out here that were saying that it was satanic. And I'm like, okay, first of all, y'all wouldn't know what satanic is if the devil pulled his pants down and smacked you in the face with his dick. Like, y'all don't even know what the hell y'all talking about. Every little thing y'all see, if it's red, if it's gothic, if it's got like any sense of dark to it, all of a sudden it's satanic. No, what satanic is, y'all run up in that church and send out them tithes and stuff, and them damn pastors out here, spoon feeding y'all a bunch of that rhetoric for y'all money. And y'all give it up like the slaves that y'all are in y'all damn mind. But anyway, let's get into the story. So they said, and I should point out, this is the second time that Gaga's performed at Coachella. I believe the first time was because Beyonce was supposed to do it, but I think she was pregnant at the time. So Gaga stepped in at the last minute. I don't even remember that performance when she did it the first time. But they said, according to the story, shout out to the Daily Mail for this one, the paparazzi hitmaker ensured it would be a performance fans would never forget, opening her set with track Bloody Mary, in which she donned a show-stopping red dress and stood in front of a Gothic-style backdrop, complete with gargoyles and angels, with some fans likening the rituals to a satanic ritual. I don't know where y'all get satanic from gargoyles and angels, but okay. I mean, the devil was an angel, right? A fallen one, Lucifer, if you believe what you read in the Bible. But now they said the set, which was split into 4 acts and described as an opera house in the desert by the singer, then saw Gaga launching the songs including Abracadabra, Judas, and Shiza. Now, at one point, the stage turned into a giant chessboard for the song Poker Face, with Gaga and her dancers performing a choreographed dance battle between 2 groups, with the star emerging victorious. Which I will say, that was actually my favorite part of the performance when she did that. And I love the fact that one of the things I love mostly about this, it was like, it was so much going on. I do like the idea of like it being a story for beginning, middle, and end. Shout out to Madonna, because, she started that whole theme of your stage and everything has to have sort of a theme. We're here to tell a story, and we're bringing Broadway to the whole concert experience, which Gaga and yes, many of your faves have taken that idea and ran with it. And that's fine. Everybody's always got to do something where they are the blueprint, and then everybody else takes it and carries the torch and moves it into bigger and better situations. And I thought Gaga did a phenomenal job with how she told the story. There was a part of the show in the middle that I felt like it was a little weak for me. That was the one where she came out in the little blue ensemble, and then she was up there. She did like her little performance with Gesaffelstein. Like when she was up there doing that whole section, I wasn't that excited about it. It kind of drifted. I drifted off a bit from that. But overall, everything else, the opening was exquisite. The closing was exquisite. All the other parts of the show was exquisite. When she was giving theatrics and all the other stuff, I also loved how the dancers was like everybody was doing something. It was like nobody was just standing still for a moment. And I think she had damn near 30 dancers in this show with her. And so, Gaga definitely gave everything. She was giving full out. She was up there dancing and having a good time. Hopefully she's going to be able to pull all this off when she does the tour. Cause I always think about what is it? The microfiber, or what is that? Fibromyalgia that she has. I said microfiber. So yeah, I know she has the issues with that, but I don't know if she has that under control or whatever the case is. But I always worry, like, if when artists have ailments, I'm always thinking about, oh, please, I hope you're going to be able to pull this whole thing off, that you're not going to be in pain, or like, if you got a knee injury, it's like, I hope it don't come out of place. It's always something, but that's the price you pay for your artistry, is that you're going to end up with some type of ailment, in pain, pulling something, some type of physical damage. The Zombie Boy performance definitely had me cracking up when they was up there dancing with the skeletons. And then also, this was another one that was my favorite, because I had to come with pictures. I like this too, when she was in the sand, and then she had the dead, she had the skeleton, and the dancers came out and they started dancing and all that other stuff. When she did Disease in there, I actually loved that performance when she got into, I don't know if what is that, oatmeal? Like uncooked oatmeal, or was it sand, dirt? I don't know. It was just like when they was up in there, they was doing that. I worried, like, at one point when they was coming out, I was like, please don't get nothing in her eye. Because, that's what I be thinking about. I was like, when I be up in there dancing or moving around or whatever the case is, and you in dirt, you don't want to get sand in your eye. But that shit burns. Like, come. But you don't want to get all that stuff in your eye, and you got to worry about, you ain't gonna be able to see nothing tonight. But like I said, I love all the drama of it all. So they said amid the stunning visuals, striking sets, numerous costume changes, and of course her killer vocals, it left fans all saying the same thing, that it was the best Coachella performance of all time. Now, taking to Twitter in the wake of her show, music lovers were quick to share their praise and admiration for Lady Gaga's set. So some went on to say that it was one of the best headliners. You know, Gaga is one of the best headliners of Coachella history. Another one said, I have no words. All I can say is that Lady Gaga's set might be the greatest Coachella set of all time. Gaga absolutely devoured her opening to Coachella with Bloody Mary, Abracadabra, Judas, and Shiza. This was more amazing than anything we could imagine. And it's funny enough, I mentioned this because when she did Judas, I was sitting there like, wait a minute, I saw her Jesus yesterday. You know, Rick Gonzalez, who played Jesus in her Judas video, was at the Madison Square Garden for the Knicks game because it was a bunch of celebrities there. First of all, shout out to Tracy Morgan because he came back after, you know, his little incident. And then we saw the Castle on Order there. So and I'm looking on the side and I was like, because when they showed Tracy, I said, wait a minute, is that Christopher Maloney? And damn sure it was. But I didn't even recognize Mariska was sitting next to him. And then right behind them, it was the other cast members from like Organized Crime and all this stuff. So yeah, Rick Fine Self was there, you know. Um, and that's funny. I was like, I seen him, and then Gaga was doing Coachella. But anyway, so then another one said, Lady Gaga, you might have just taken that #1 spot for best Coachella performance of all time. So yeah, I got a couple of the tweets up in here. And what else is everybody saying? Because you know, everybody's up in here saying like it's the best one. I don't know. I would love to hear from y'all to see if that's what you guys think. Another person said Lady Gaga's Coachella set genuinely left me speechless. The creativity, the vocals, the storytelling, the visuals, insane. One of the greatest performances of her career, and that's saying a lot. And that, in my opinion, I feel is the best post or the best tweet. This is when she did Bad Romance. This was the end when she did that. And I also noticed how the one of the other male dancers that was in the Abracadabra music. I wonder if majority of the I wonder if all not I don't think all of them were, but I wonder if a lot of the dancers that was in the Abracadabra music video was actually on in the Coachella set, and how many dancers is she actually going to have when she hits the road for the Mayhem Ball? Which, to be honest, I'm really looking forward and I'm really excited to be able to work those shows when they come to New York. So yeah, so these are a couple of the tweets that I was just reading so that you guys can see those. I did love the fighting doppelganger, the chess queen dance battle. I did like the zombies, the crutch walk, which was a callback to what was it, the paparazzi music video. So it was like there was a lot of callbacks to a lot of stuff that she did in the past, and that's why I said like you look at your past stuff and then you elevate it and bring it into 2025, and it's like it comes across as more mature and there's a little more meat on the bone rather than back in the day it was probably like a little fluffy or whatever the case is. But it's like you see like the artistry and how much Gaga has grown, unlike Katy Perry. And I hate having to bring her up, but it's always like that contrast. It's like you look at somebody like Katy Perry should take a page out of Lady Gaga's handbook, which would be it's like, yeah, you could look back on the sound and everything that made you famous, that got you all those big hits. But if you're gonna continue, if you're gonna go back to that sound, you got to find new ways to make that sound feel a lot richer and more exciting. And she wasn't able to do that. She half-assed it with that record, and she went back with Dr. Luke because she needed a hit. So, and it all backfired. So, to say all of that, I will say that Lady Gaga looks pretty excited to be there. She looked like she was having fun. I did love when she ran into the audience to sing Crash Into You, which in my opinion, I just live for the vocals on that. Like I love singing along to that song. Like I just love everything. I just feel like that's such it's a beautiful song. And then when she went in the audience, she started like hugging everybody. Well, not hugging, but just like high fiving. You know who also did that? I saw Benson Boone running through the damn Coachella arena or stadium area, whatever the hell you want to call it, and the security was trying to keep up with him. I'm like, that boy fast with a little tight outfit on and them cheeks cheeking. But I will say, and I want to point this out because I know a friend of mine who lives in Australia was wondering if she would be bringing the Mayhem Ball tour there. Well, apparently, look, you're in luck because she just announced that she will play Melbourne's Marvel Stadium on December 5th, Brisbane's Suncorp Stadium on December 9th, and Sydney's Accor Stadium on December 12th. So she's doing 3 dates in December and in Australia. So the last time she performed there was during the Art Rave Art Pop Ball Tour in 2014. So that was 10 years ago, a little over 10 years ago. So she's heading down under. So all my Australian friends, y'all are in for a treat. So I say all this to say, because I definitely want to hear from you. Do you think that this was the best Coachella performance of all time? Like, I'm really trying to think of who I can't, no shade, but I honestly cannot think of anybody all the top of my head right now. Like, how many big stars have done Coachella? Coachella kind of is like out of sight, out of mind. So off the top, like if we was talking about Super Bowl, then that'd be a different story because I remember those. But as far as like Coachella, I was like, I don't remember. I don't know. Like Coachella is like day and night with me. But I definitely want to hear from y'all. Me personally, I said I loved Gaga's Coachella performance. I love Missy Elliott's Coachella performance. Benson Boone was cute, but he was giving me a little too much Freddie Mercury for my liking. It's like, boy, what? I need to know who is you and what part is you and what part is not Freddie Mercury, because you was doing a little too much Freddie Mercury cosplay while you was up there. The outfit was outfitting thing though, because I seen that bulge in them cheeks. I was staring. But that boy, I was like, I would like to get, you could break me off a piece of that. But other than that, I was not really feeling. I thought his performance was all right. But so far, the only three, I will say four, because that makes three that I mentioned. The four performances that I've seen from Coachella so far was, as I said, Gaga, Missy Elliott, Benson Boone, and then earlier I watched Prodigy. The Prodigy, when they was up there. Shout out to Keith Flint, may he rest in peace. But it was like back in my Raven days, it was all about Prodigy and Chemical Brothers and a lot of those type of artists. So yeah, I was like, I was getting my rave nostalgia on. So yes, I want to hear from y'all. If not this being the best Coachella performance, who do you think that she's up there with in regards of doing Coachella? Because you want to know something? Baychella still is like the top of Coachella performances, but I do feel like she and Gaga are very neck and neck in regards of who left the most impressive, iconic Coachella performance. So I want to hear from y'all. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. All right. So let me check and see what everybody is saying up in the comments. Magical Mermaids in the building. So is Robert. Nice comeback after the joke. Yeah, but you want to know something? That wasn't her fault, though. She was actually the most interesting part of that damn movie. The movie itself was just terrible and unnecessary. But people are saying she did better than Baychella, which was very different. Meaning it. Yeah, that's why I said that's why I couldn't do that. I can't surpass the whole thing because number one, the cultural significance of Baychella, we ain't comparing that to what Gaga did. Gaga is doing something that fits in the theme of the battle within oneself, mental health, that sort of thing. So I got the overall light versus dark, that battle within yourself when you feel like you're good and then you have that voice in your head that's telling you bad, hence Mistress Mayhem. That's what I think people should have been focusing on rather than, y'all looking at a bunch of stuff on stage, because a lot of people about as deep as a damn pond. So they look at certain things and they're like, well, it's satanic. Like that's your go-to for every damn thing. No kind of cultural education on stuff. So they're automatically like, satanic, it's satanic. Like, eat a dick. But yeah, so that's why I was like, I can't do that with the whole Beyonce, because Beyonce, people have to realize that was like about HBCUs and it was about like just full on cultural significance within Black people, artistry, civil rights, that sort of thing. You can't just like compare those two. It's different. Cause that's about Black history. Who would celebrate being Black is not iconic at all. No, but they were probably thinking that. Well, maybe it was racist that was saying that Benson Boone does too much. I agree. He was. Yeah, Benson got a good stylist, and that stylist know what we want to see. We want to see bulge and ass, and I'm glad that he be up there giving us exactly that. That's why I was like, when people was getting all mad when he was adjusting himself at the Grammys, I said, keep adjusting, sir. We like you tugging on that meat and potatoes because of getting away. But I will say this, child. It's getting a little old with the flips, but I understand now it's become part of your situation, kind of like that stupid thing when on the Screaming for Hudson show where everybody got to walk down the hallway and do that stupid dance crap, and then Ellen DeGeneres, when she had to always come out on her stage and dance. Once you start doing something, it becomes your signature. But you ain't. But I'm like, what would be most impressive is when Benson Boone is 50, still doing them flips. I'm like, you sure you won't be able to doing that? And then when he was singing his songs or whatever, I was sitting there like, I'm a little worried about you because the way you singing the way you sing your songs in the register that you sing them in, you don't want to damage your vocal cords. So hopefully when you get older, because your voice does change the older you get, and then you have to worry about, are you still going to be able to hit those notes? Who was the one? What he was reminding me of when he was singing? What was the name of that group? The one that came out with that? I don't. Damn. What was it called? I remember a thing called Love or something. That song. I can't remember who sang that song. That's who was reminding me of when he was singing that song. When he was singing his songs, and then he got up there and sang Bohemian Rhapsody, which was cute. When he came up with his little cape, I was waiting for him to say like what Gaga said, "Off with your head." But anyway. All right, y'all, let's get into Miss Kanye, who's out here talking a bunch of shit about people. So he gave a half-assed apology to Beyonce and Jay-Z in regards of the stuff that he said about their children. But he then went on and decided it felt almost like a backhanded compliment. So his hateful rant continued after he shared more disturbing tweets on Twitter targeting Beyonce and Jay-Z's sex life. So now he wanted to go into that. So he went from calling her children retarded to now questioning about what they was doing in the bedroom, which, first of all, why do you care? Like, how's your sex life? And the things you doing. First of all, I don't want to know because I don't even want to imagine him naked, let alone sticking his peen in anybody. Just like I need to know this tea about him and Madonna and Ashley Olsen. But we're about to get into that. I don't want to jump too far ahead. Let's just focus on this first because it's a lot. So, excuse me. West, who now goes by Ye, or as I like to call him, Kanye, issued a partial apology to the music mogul for previous derogatory remarks about their kids, but later posted more offensive comments on Thursday morning. In his first post, the rapper apologized to Jay-Z before reflecting on his feelings of betrayal in the industry. Well, wah, 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 wah. That's what happens. You're gonna get stung and hurt. It's either you take your lashings, you move on, and you know who you can't mess around with. Meaning, as the Big Sean song go, I don't fuck with you. Like that would be just my mantra. Like, okay, I see how you move in this industry. I ain't messing with you. I'm moving on with my life. I'm not gonna sit up here and air out my grievances. Why are you betraying me? Why are you treating me like crap? And then I have to constantly post all over the social media. It's like, okay, we get it. You were burned by people. So move the fuck on. Like, we don't want to keep hearing it every 2 seconds. You're not going to get what you want from Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're going to keep ignoring your ass while you up in here going on rants on social media and then deleting them. Stop posting shit if you're going to delete it. So, what'd he say? So he said, okay, well, first of all, let me actually show y'all the tweet. Because I come with receipts. So he said, I'm sorry, Jay-Z. I be feeling bad about my tweet, but I still feel I gave my life to this industry and thought so many people weren't my family. But when I needed family on some real ish, none of these rap ninjas had my back. Do Beyonce ever let Jay get pussy? I mean, like at least a couple times. Well, did you not listen to Lemonade, sir? Because if you didn't, maybe you need to go back and listen to that album. Lemonade will tell you all you need to know that they want you to know. about their marital situation and the fact that yes, Jay did step out, and whatever he has in his marriage, if you have an open marriage or whatever the case was, or if you was out there liking to have Kim on your arm while you was laying alone and spreading it wide with a bunch of different women, that's on you, and that's what you need to be focusing on instead of worrying about. Well, I was like, I didn't realize I was covering the whole damn post up. Hold on. So yeah, now y'all can see it. Now I can put it back. So yeah, you need to be focusing on. Oh wait, hold on, because I'm gonna get to that one in a second. So yeah, so now, how you up in here wondering about do she let Jay run around and get coochie from other women? That's none of your damn business. So he also, as they said, experienced a setback after making another tweet about Beyonce and Jay-Z's sex life. Before that, Beyonce and Kim Kardashian, who felt angry and disgusted by West's rants, reportedly sought treatment for him. Well, you can only lead a horse to the water, but you can't make them drink the water. So if you saying that she sought treatment for him, but he not taking the treatment, that's why I said at some point, with all that money and bragging that you like to do, you can afford to get you a good therapist, have them level out your meds if you do have any kind of mental illness or whatever, which you said that you was misdiagnosed from being bipolar, and then said that you autistic. But being autistic does not substitute you being an asshole or excuse you for being an asshole. And you're just an asshole in your own accord. So I don't know why y'all tried, a lot of these people out here like to hide behind bipolar disorder. It's not just him. It's a lot of other people that do the same thing. Y'all want to blame it on autism. You want to blame it on whatever. I'm sick, or I got this, or oh yeah, you sick, all right. You mentally disturbed. Because who sits up in here and walks around with all this anger and animosity towards people, and then you all this lashing out, say everybody was coming at Kanye, everybody it's everybody's fault but yours. At some point, you got to take part in some of the things you say and do. Because I don't know how you're going to sit up here and apologize, or I don't even think it was an apology. I think he was making an excuse as to why he said what he said about Beyonce and Jay-Z's kids, which have nothing to do with whatever Jay allegedly did to you. That's between y'all. Which I don't think y'all will ever work out, because once you piss a Sagittarius off, which is what Jay is, oh, they pay you dust. You don't exist in their world. So you just wasting your breath or your Twitter fingers in all caps on social media. That's what you're doing. Now let's get into this other story where, yeah, so there's more. Because he decided to go in on Tay Tay, Miss Beyonce, the other Tay, or the other Beyonce, where he posted and then deleted a disgusting comment about Taylor Swift, accusing her of having a threesome with Harry Styles and Justin Bieber. So he wrote, I'll show you an example of racism. Justin Bieber and Harry Styles bumped Taylor Swift from both sides and didn't call me. However, his contentious claims didn't stop there. Now, in another tweet, he posted, I'm mad I haven't effed Taylor Swift yet. As his controversial remarks sparked outrage and questions, he further claimed everything he said to be 1,000% true. Well, now that you want to sit out here and claim that things are true that you saying out your mouth, well, guess what? Tay Tay heard what he said, and she's seeking legal action for his claims. So, according to Daily Mail's exclusive report, the pop star filed a cease and desist against the rapper over his explicit tweets about her. A source told the outlet that West's behavior has gone too far this time. This time? What about all the other times? This man always saying stuff like the Nazism and the flat out slavery was a choice and all the other stuff. That wasn't out of control. That wasn't the tipping point. We didn't hit the glass ceiling yet. So this is the glass ceiling. The glass ceiling is him going in on Taylor Swift, because he been doing that for the past week. It wasn't just whole situation. He said some other stuff the other day too. I don't remember exactly what it was. I know I did a story on it, but it's out of sight, out of mind when it comes to me and stories. I'm trying to remember if I even posted it up on the channel yet. Probably not, because I was in the midst of me putting today's show together. I was uploading previous clips from past episodes up on the channel. So, I stay busy, chair. So they said This isn't just West gossiping. This is West sexually harassing a woman, defaming her, and intending to cause harm to her and her career. The source also claimed that Swift saw no other alternative than a legal course to provide the rapper with a final warning to stop his tirade against her. And that's basically what that is. People have to realize that a cease and desist is basically just a warning to like keep my name out your mouth. That's basically what it is. Like you can wipe your ass with a cease and desist. However, if you keep on keeping on, what happens is now I'm gonna take legal action. Now I'm gonna get my lawyers involved. I'm about to serve you papers and I'm about to clean your ass out. You're gonna be left broke, begging Trump for some of his, corrupt white collar crime coins that he's stacking up as he speaks. And you know that man will never stop talking. So yeah, so this is what he said on that. And then last, but certainly not least, because might as well lump it all together, he started going in and making claims about Ashley Olsen and the one and only Queen of Pop, Madonna. So he went and said the following. Oh, wait a minute. Did I close it? And did. Hold on now. Now I gotta sit and pull this damn thing up because I literally just closed the damn story as I was about to get to it. All right, so the attention-seeking clown, formerly known as Kanye, because I call him Kanye, took the Elon Musk Twitter to claim he canoodled with two major stars in his latest flurry of tweets. Now, the post from Kanye's comes week after the 47-year-old received much backlash for sharing harmful statements about Beyonce and Jay-Z's children online. So he wound up saying this. And let me see if I have the tweet, because I do. He said, when I made out with Madonna, she was bragging about how she F'd Basquiat and Pac. I was like, damn, she loved to brag just like me. Well, I mean, it is truthful that she did smash Tupac Shakur and Basquiat. She dated Basquiat. The iconic Basquiat. And Tupac Shakur, we know about that. But first of all, why are you out here spilling everybody's business like you a gossip columnist? Telling everybody damn tea. But then also, he went and said, well, they said it's unclear that if he's being honest, but the tea is, yeah, she did date Tupac and Basquiat. So we knew that part, but he could be making all the other stuff up. Like, do I believe that Madonna would make out with a Kanye West of all people? I mean, I would say it would be inconclusive because we all know Madonna is very open when it comes to men kissing and things. But at the time when she was wasn't she with Guy Ritchie at the time when her and Kanye worked together on the Sticky and Sweet tour, or was she in the throes of her divorce at the time? Because I'm trying to remember the timeline. So the timeline is a little shaky there. We'll just put it like that. It's inconclusive. The results came back, and the results is inconclusive. But then he went and said, I used to F Ashley, that's as an Olsen. That's why the twins got the shout out on my song Ninjas in Paris. Now, for those who are familiar with the 2011 track, it's from West's joint album with Jay-Z, Watch the Throne. The track, which peaked at number 5 in the Billboard Hot 100, features the lyrics, Prince Williams ain't do it right. If you ask me, because I was him, I would have married Kate and Ashley. West's statement, however, isn't the first time he's been linked to the Olsen sisters. Not only was a stronger rapper spotted making out with Mary Kate in 2011, but according to Diplo, the Olsen twins were in the recording studio during the production of Watch the Throne, and West referred to them as his thermometer for what white girls listen to. I cannot. Now, before his confession about his alleged encounters with Olsen and Madonna, another post of West going off on, oh yeah, so then he decided to go in on Frank Ocean too. So it's never ending with this whole situation. And then said, because, Frank Ocean apparently dragged Kanye over his, association with Donald Trump. And then he said, Frank Ocean pussy ass come over to my house, talk about Trump all day and how I shouldn't support Trump. He said, Ninja F you know about politics, and Ninja, I'm your motherfucking senior. OG, y'all used to come on tour with me, Ninja. Yeah, he dropped the N-word a lot. He could take it. None of these ninjas as talented as me. I'm the greatest motherfucking artist that ever existed. They can just be slightly better than one thing because they do that one thing. Oh my God. I guess if somebody won't be able to toot their own horn of calling themselves a genius or one of the best artists of all time, then who gonna believe it, right? But Kanye plays, like, you make good music. You were able to concoct a sound that was generally your own, and we like the consciousness of your earlier music from College Dropout and Late Registration and Watch the Throne and all that stuff. We love your creativity back then. You're not a genius. You're not Picasso. You're not Michelangelo. You're not none of the goddamn Ninja Turtles. So stop calling yourself, all these people. Stop trying to always refer to yourself to I'm Leonardo da Vinci. I'm Michelangelo. I'm Mahatma Gandhi. I said, chill, if you don't sit your tight ass down, like geniuses don't go around calling themselves other geniuses. People just know that they're creative. They exude their creativity from their stuff and just let the chips fall where they may. They don't have to toot their own horn or try to prove what they are just so that way they can get some kind of validation. And that's what I feel like. You are attention hungry. You're always trying to seek validation from people who won't give it to you. And when you don't get it, you start all these tirades and this mess all over social media. So how about you focus on trying to get yourself together, put out some good damn music, and stop always trying to troll on Twitter because it's tired, it's late, your antics just aren't working anymore. It just feels like your little tactic that you're doing with all these rants on social media, it just feels so outdated. It's like you don't know what to do with yourself, and I'm getting bored with you. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards of Kanye going on his little tirade and his little rants, talking all this mess about every celebrity he could think of? And do y'all think he made out with Madonna? I don't know. Like I said, the story that's a little inconclusive now in regards to the Mary Kate and Ashley stuff. I wouldn't be surprised if he hunched them little white girls. Like I guess Kanye wasn't giving he wasn't giving DMX black. He gives like I'm black in the suburbs. Like he gives Frank Ocean black. Like somebody who definitely, yes. Well, when you see them, they went to a prestige school. Like he gives Jonathan Majors black. Like let's go there. Like it's like, oh, we know you will go with white puss. And then when the white puss turn on your ass, then you want to come back to the black community and remember what color your ass is. That's what Kanye gives. So that validation, that need to assimilate to whiteness or that need for white validation. That's what he gives, but then tries to play black cosplay when it's convenient for his career and his money, and when the well runs dry, because he know at the end of the day, black people are going to welcome him with open arms. Y'all better stop inviting these people to the cookout, these white adjacents, these wannabes, and these the other, these the ones that'll turn their back on the community to sell their own people up the river, the Uncle Ruckus types, and that's what Kanye is giving. So I say all this to say, whatever your thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. He said, yes, Benson. Oh, yeah, we saw that one. Linwood Lewis just got done seeing Kylie Minogue in Atlanta and looks like he got. I know, I saw. um, the show was very good, as y'all know. And I'm seeing a lot of the Madison Square Garden footage like all over Instagram. And good quality too. And compared to Sailor Moon, I'm like, child, not Sailor Moon. Kylie has always been Kylie. No, I was like, she ain't never been no crybaby. Kanye has always been a crybaby and a bully. He's a victim of self-sabotage. Exactly. Just own your shit. Narcissists never take accountability for what they say or do. Damn sure don't. It's always someone else's fault. Absolutely. Hey, feelings. I live where Benson Boone is from. Wait, where's Benson Boone and them cheeks from? Yes, Clown Yay. Yes, he is 2000 and late. Shout out to Fergie Young. Yes, Madam X went there. You believe it? I would not be surprised. That's what I was, I would not be surprised. Look, first of all, if Madonna could lay down in bed with Dennis Rodman, anything is possible. So I don't put nothing past. Oh, he from Seattle. Okay. Let me find out they growing all them cute Benson Boone types down in Seattle. I may have to take a trip. All right. Okay, y'all. So now since we was talking about Kanye, let's talk about his dizzy ass wife and them fraudsters over there in the Kartrashian household. So we're all pretty much well aware that the Kardashians, for many years, have ruled the digital landscape. But it looks like if when they were recently audited, they trying to say that their accounts might be drowning in bots. So a lot of these people that's up there talking about how, a lot of their followings, they have like this massive following. Child, they're saying that they're out there with fake followers. And this is according to Radar Online. So let's get into it. Now, social media and influence agency, Socially Powerful, along with the help of Modash, released their studies on their site revealing the staggering numbers attached to some of the Kardashians' brands. Now, according to the data, Khloe's Good American Fashion brand has about 30% fake followers on Instagram, totaling to over 740,000 fraudulent accounts of the more than 2 million followers. Well, damn, can somebody teach me how to do that scam? Because I want more followers. Well, shout out to the 2.5K that follow me on this YouTube channel. I just be happy when I get my natural numbers and stuff. I was even talking to Robert earlier. He was saying, like, we was talking about earlier about, not earlier today, but like in the past couple of days. I was like, Chad, I need to put together a Patreon. I think I'm gonna start doing that because with the Patreon, I'm gonna start doing like live concert reviews and album reviews where I could easily go through each song and break down the songs and all this. So I'm thinking about doing that. And building that. But y'all up in here with these brands and stuff with your fake booties and fake bots. I was gonna say fake bots. Well, bots, yeah, are fake. So I'm wondering if all these people that we see up in here, what is it, Akash Chowdhury, every time I start seeing the little Indian names and those other stuff, they probably them scammers that be calling trying to get y'all social security numbers. And they said, Courtney's lifestyle brand, Poosh, sidebar, do y'all know that Gwyneth Paltrow, since we talk about lifestyle brand, because Poosh is basically a ripoff of Goop, um, Gwyneth Paltrow has a podcast. Why? Why does she, of all people, have a damn podcast? Girl, nobody likes you in real life. Nobody's going to try to listen to you on a damn podcast. But, yeah, so Poosh, which sounds like douche, seems to be generating a bit under 29% of fake accounts. 4.6 million accounts further currently follow the brand's Instagram. Now, the data also revealed that Poosh has a brutally low social engagement percentage, with just 0.10%. Well, it's Courtney. What do you expect? She's, according to the Kardashian sisters, the boring one. So, yeah, this is the chart where they talk about like who has fake followers. They at number one, this is the row of Mary Kate and Ashley. They said it's 50.6% of real people, mass followers 17.64, suspicious mass followers 21.51, bots 10.79, and suggested fake follower numbers it'd be 873,184. So number one is the row. Khloe is number two, Courtney's number three, Kim is with Skims is at number four. It's funny how Kim is at the bottom of the Kardashian girl. Well, actually, the one at the bottom of the Kardashian girls will be Kylie Jenner. So she lucky with that. Rihanna is at number 5. And then you have at number 10, all the way at the bottom, Kate Hudson with Fabletics. First of all, I didn't even know Kate Hudson had a lifestyle brand. I'm like, where have I been? Well, I know that maybe that's what's paying for that music because ain't nobody buying it. So yeah, Fabletics with Kate Hudson, and then actually, Rihanna's on here twice. She got Fenty Beauty, and she has Savage Fenty. Savage Fenty, of course, is over Fenty Beauty, but that's because Savage Fenty, I believe, is the fashion stuff. Fenty Beauty, of course, is the makeup and the makeup line. Selena Gomez is on here with Rare Beauty. You know who I'm surprised is not on here in regards of like their brand and stuff? Jennifer Lopez. Where's she at? We know that I think last year because of low sales, like I believe wasn't her makeup and stuff taken out of what is it called? J Lo Beauty or something or another. It was taken out of Sephora. I remember hearing that story. So yeah, I wanted to show y'all that good old chart Let's go back to Chloe's booty. We'll leave it there. So now they said that well, I did point out that Kim's brand didn't go unscathed. They said with almost 29% of the lingerie brands following deemed unlikely to be fake. Now, while revenue for the company has increased since its 2020 launch, it appears to still be relying on fake followers to boost their image. Kylie's makeup brand, Kylie Cosmetics, is said to have nearly 28% of fakes on its Instagram, and with 24 million followers, about 6 million of those fans aren't actually real. So they also said they reached out to the Kardashians rep for comment. Well, they're not going to say nothing. And it just goes to show that I think a lot of this is, to be honest, I don't know why this is news. Like, I think majority of a lot of these brands, that's always been kind of like the accusation that a lot of these lifestyle brands and stuff have fake bots. The fake bots thing has been going on since I would think the launch of Instagram. Like, as long as Instagram's been around, there's been a lot of people who have like fake followers on their Instagram pages and all these other situations. So I'm not surprised by this news at all. That's basically what I'm trying to say with all of this. So I want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think? Are you all surprised that, excuse me, that it looks like the Kardashians running around here with fake followers on their social media accounts, I guess, as a way to get y'all to buy into their lifestyle brands? So whatever your thoughts are on this matter, let me know in the comments down below. You said I wouldn't be surprised because there are ways to build your following by paying for them. Yeah, there's a lot of people that do that. It's like you pay a little money or whatever, and you can get a bunch of followers. Like I knew somebody, a friend of mine, I ain't gonna reveal who, that was doing that when they were doing their industry work. And so it's like, yeah, I'm gonna buy some followers so that way it gets, that engagement. Because unfortunately, when it comes to social media, it's all about the illusion. It's all about, everybody just it looking like you got a lot of followers because nobody's gonna really follow somebody with like 100 followers, which I don't understand. It's like that's a way for you to grow your brand, but people like things just the illusion of everything being massive and big instead of just like, yeah, I'm trying to grow my thing from the ground up. You know what? You just gave me, and I was thinking about that in the back of my head, but you gave me a good idea too. It's like, yeah, I could use the Patreon to actually take the time to break down concerts that I've seen at Madison Square Garden and do a review on that, and people could pay to see it. Because I know I've had people who literally hit me up and was like, they loved my Kylie Minogue concert review. And I don't think that it's a bad thing if I can get in trouble for doing a review of concerts. Basically, I'm getting paid to watch shows. That's literally my job. In addition to working and dealing with a lot of people and doing guest service and all that other stuff, like I get paid to watch concerts and all kinds of events. So why not? I do have a leg up over everybody else where a lot of y'all are paying to see these shows. I'm actually at those shows so I can give y'all insight. So yeah, I'm definitely looking into doing a whole. I'm definitely thinking about this year launching a Patreon for stuff specific to that, and then just keeping this solely on celebrity news and gossip. Because it's like I do need to keep a primary focus on this instead of trying to put too much into it. Because I think like a lot of times when you try to put too much into a show, it I want to come across. I want to show like I'm well rounded, but at the same time, I feel like it throws people off, and then people just lose engagement. They only I feel like come for one specific thing. So I don't know why I keep thinking that says Pet Shop Boys. I be wanting that to say Pet Shop Boys so bad. Photoshop bots. These damn tech companies are full of. Kate Hudson getting paid for years. And not just from her being a nepo baby. I have heard of. Well, I've heard of it too, but I forgot. Yeah, I didn't know it was Kate Hudson's company either. I mean, I've seen her advertising and doing. I thought she was like the face. I didn't know that was her company. You know how sometimes when you see a lot of these artists, these actors out here that'll be the face of a company. That's what I thought that was. I didn't know that was her thing. But I always like Kate Hudson because you can't rely on the acting thing forever. And look, back in the day, they used to say, and this one Madonna had to drag somebody over that because I saw this video where this man was up on stage, and this was Madonna in the 80s. I think it was at a press conference, and he was saying that, like, basically kind of thumbing his nose at artists who act on in their shows or put on theatrics or whatever the case is. He was like, well, if you want to be an actor, you should be an actor. This shouldn't be in music. And she's like, that doesn't make any sense because number one, I'm paraphrasing, because number one, when you're on stage, you are acting, you are performing, you're giving a character version of yourself. You're not just, I mean, unless you're going to be born and just standing and strumming your guitar and singing into a mic, then okay. But you're giving a performance, you're acting, you're giving it theatrics. So when you're seeing the artist up there, that's what that is. So he didn't make no sense. It was just trying to come across as pompous, and it bit him in the behind because somebody with intelligence basically just threw it back in his face. Okay. Shout out to the OF. And it'd be good too, because then I can cover the Mayhem Ball. I can cover, if I work Katy Perry, I can cover that. It's I can cover a lot of those things, but I gotta literally take the time to look into the whole Patreon thing. So it's the idea is cooking in my head, and I gotta make money somehow. I mean, I do have a job and I get paid, but I want to make a little more coins, so that way, I'm not having to just rely on the money from YouTube and all the other stuff. I want to make this eventually a full-time situation because these algorithms on YouTube be playing in my damn face. All right, y'all. I was like, where we go? Oh, I was like, what is our next story? Because I didn't close my last windows. Okay, let's get into Will Smith because apparently his album flopped, which is no shade, but I kind of knew this would happen. And so I don't think Will Smith should be surprised either. So last month, the actor and rapper released his latest record based on a true story, but despite his superstar status, the album sold. China, this is embarrassing. He sold 268 copies in its first week in the UK. Now, they said while it is said to have been they only downloaded the album 26 times. Well, actually 36 times. And this is according to The Sun. And things didn't fare better across the pond as the album failed to make it on the Billboard 200 in the US, reports Forbes, the first time one of his solo albums has not charted. Now, based on a true story, is Will's first album since 2005's Lost and Found, and despite big-name collaborators including Big Sean, DJ Jazzy Jeff, say that 10 times fast, DJ Jazzy Jeff, Tiana Taylor, and his own son Jaden, which it wasn't that hard to get him on the album, it has failed to make any commercial impact. Now, reports suggest that the album was hoped to be a start of a musical resurgence for Will in the wake of his controversial Chris Rock Oscar slap in 2022, the move that seriously tarnished his career. The incident occurred following a joke Chris made about Will's wife, We Know, and then he got up there and said, keep my wife's name out your ever mouth. Then Will was like, it was a G.I. Jane joke. And then, he got smacked upside the head, and he was still able to get his Oscar. But everybody else, when it comes down to it, y'all want to dog them. But Will Smith was able to sit up there and collect his Oscar after he put pause on another artist. I'd have had his ass escorted out the building. But they thought, okay, we'll just ban him for 10 years. Okay. Like, what other movie Will Smith going to come out with where he's going to win an Oscar? And what are you winning for? Playing a slave? Sounds about right, because that's what Hollywood loves to do. They only want to applaud us when we're celebrating Black pain. Quiet as it's kept. Now they said the development of his film Fast and Loose was also put on hold by Netflix. While his reported 28 million pound, I wonder how much that is in American dollars, in slavery epic Emancipation failed to make an impact at the box office in 2022, leaving his movie career somewhat in the wilderness. Will's new 14-track album features tracks including Beautiful Scars of Big Sean, Work of Art with Jaden Smith, and Hard Times with Tiana Taylor, the latest of which he was plugging on Instagram only on Friday. And they also went on to say the former Fresh Prince of Bel-Air star has in the past enjoyed commercial success with his first 4 solo albums, Big Willie Style 1997, Willennium 1999, Born to Reign in 2002, and Lost and Found in 2005, all making it on the Billboard 200. But you also have to realize that was at the peak of Will's career where he was, Big Willie Weekend every time he released a movie up until Wild Wild West. he pretty much had the 4th of July weekend on lock. So a lot of his stuff was making a lot of money. He was really successful at the time. So he could put out music, and he was putting out music and movies around the same time. So of course it's going to be hot. It's been 2 decades damn near that he has released music. In this day and age, no shade, but nobody gives a good goddamn about a Will Smith record. I don't even think whether or not he slapped Chris Rock would have helped the sales. I just feel in this climate of music, nobody wants to listen to Will Smith, cookie cutter, squeaky clean, 50-plus-year-old behind. And I don't think age got anything to do with it, but I just threw the age in because I'm being shady. But he's in his 50s. He's always kind of been like that squeaky clean, cookie cutter type of artist. And they were talking about this album, he trying to be all like hard and he cursing and he being a little more aggressive with his stuff. It's like, sir, you are not that's not your wheelhouse. You were, getting jiggy with it. Welcome to Miami. That's what people want from you. People do not want your rendition of Pumps and a Bump. And if y'all don't know that song, you need to Google Schmooze. Shout out to MC Hammer. Because remember, when MC Hammer was all cookie clean and squeaky clean and cookie cutter, that's what I meant to say. Remember when MC Hammer went from squeaky clean to trying to give gangster rap? Because that's where the music was shifting at the time. And he came out with pumps and a bump, pumps and a bump. Looking like a fool with the pumps on a bump. I made that part up because, that was the man that had pants. What was it? Hands on the ground, looking like a fool with your pants on the ground. That's why I was getting that from. So that's what he was giving with Pumps and a Bump. And then Will Smith was trying to do that with his music. So it's like, sir, nobody asked for this record. So I knew it was going to bomb. I didn't know it was going to be that bad, though. That it was like literal crickets. Like I hear the crickets in my head. That's all imagine. Y'all hear the crickets as I say that. So now, they said that, look, despite the disappointing album sales, he's reportedly set to release a further 2 albums this year. So he's releasing a trilogy in 1 year. While the Men in Black hitmaker is plowing ahead with his first ever, and he's doing a headlining tour where he's going to be in UK and Europe. They said they will see him performing songs from his new album along with his classic hits, including Getting Jiggy With It, Miami, Summertime, and more. But some fans are shocked to discover that most of the UK venues have a capacity of less than 5,000, which seems small compared to the actor's huge. Oh no, you haven't done music in so long, and I don't know anybody who's like, because Will Smith. We going to say like Will Smith is Gen X, a little bit of elder Gen Z, like maybe midway half Gen Z, a little mostly Gen X and older. I can't see a lot of older people coming out to see a Will Smith show. I can't even see a lot of Gen Zers or even not Gen Z. I mean millennials, elder millennials. I can't see Gen Z coming out. I don't even know I can't even see like millennials wanting to come out and see him perform. I don't know if people caring enough to want to see Will Smith live in concert. And they talking about, oh, that looks bad that it's a small venue. I was like, what, you thought he was selling out arenas and in stadiums? Not by himself. Like Will Smith is going to have to put a collection of people, kind of like similar to what LL Cool J did when he did the Rock the Bells tour or whatever. I think it was what it was called. When he had like a bunch of artists come on that tour with him. Like he would, like if Will Smith was going to do a tour, he needed to put Salt and Pepper and a bunch of other older rappers. Even come if he went on tour with LL Cool J, that would be hot because they both are people who started out as rappers in the '80s and graduated to being actors in Hollywood and having bigger success in film because film pays way more than the music industry does. And then, later on in life, they decide to put music together. They should know that, you're not going to be at the top of the food chain and people's not going to be caring about your music like that. So you have to kind of come in and combine other things. But this is the tour cover and all the dates. The dates are in Europe. I don't know if he's doing the United States. I haven't heard anything about United States dates. So, he's going to Scarborough and Wolverhampton. And then they said he's skipping out bigger cities like Birmingham, Glasgow, and Dublin. Ahead of his solo tour, he's also set to perform at multiple international festivals, including Mawazine in Morocco, Positive Festival in France, Dream Beach in Spain, and Big Art Festival in Italy. But I could definitely see, the international markets, They love Will Smith. He'll go out there and he'll have a good time. Americans, you know what? Y'all are so fickle and weird. It's the same thing like with Jennifer Lopez. Because I heard people jumping in when I was talking about Jennifer going and doing tours overseas and not in America. They was like, oh, her tickets were selling. It was just all the negative press. I said, no, they wasn't. Them tickets was not selling. So you're not going to sit up here, piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. The American market just don't, when you don't invest in that music career as much as you invested in all your other stuff, then it's like, yeah, America don't see it for you in that way. Like, if you're going to come to America, you got to scale it down. You may have to do a smaller venue. You can't be out here trying to think that you are just worldwide because your team been blowing smoke up your behind and feeding your ego, where you think that everything is major, that everything is grandiose. That's not how it works because the people don't care enough. Well, at least they don't here. But I think in Europe, they're way more open minded. So I could definitely see like she'll have that, he'll probably do well in the festival circuit. Maybe that will help by the album if he performed those records. It's the same thing like I was thinking about, and I meant to bring this up earlier with Lady Gaga. After the Coachella performance, I really feel like, you know what, after that, she basically sold more tickets to her tour. Like more people are gonna go and be like, you know what, after seeing what she did with the Mayhem show at Coachella, I definitely want a ticket for this Mayhem Ball that's coming up. So I could definitely see that that's doing that. And Will, you're just gonna have to step it up and hope and pray that when you out there performing these new songs along with your hits, that maybe people be like, you know what, them songs is actually not bad. Let me go and check the album out, and maybe I'll sell more records. But like I said, I don't think it has anything to do with the Chris Rock slapation situation. I do not think that that is why people just didn't buy the album or even care to listen. I think that the reality is people just don't care about new Will Smith music. So if you want to go on a nostalgia tour with some old heads like maybe you, LL Cool J, and Queen Latifah, if y'all would have did something like that, I think y'all could definitely sold some tickets or got people interested in y'all. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story? What do you think is the reason behind why Will Smith's current album flopped hard, not only on the physical movement chart, but also, well, the Billboard chart, it didn't even make a damn dent. But he sold under 300 million damn copies over in the UK. So why do y'all think his music ain't selling? Whatever y'all thoughts are, let me know in the comments down below. Ooh, of course it did, because Kim Kardashian, all she do is steal from other people. The only bots on, he said, no one is checking for yours. Okay. And it's no shade. It is what it is. Oh, said Jordan Lake going back to watch the Gagachella topic. No one cares about Will Smith's music. Way before the slap, people started caring about. True, I do feel like people stopped caring about his music around the time of So I was like, I don't even think it had to do with the slap. I just think that Will focused so much on his movie career. I think people thought that was it with the music. Like you wasn't going to release music no more, so we moved on, and that's what we do. Out of sight, out of mind. If we don't hear from y'all anymore, whatever the case is, we move on from the music. And we accept that you ain't putting out no music no more. We move on to the next thing. And if you ever decide, okay, now I'm gonna put a tour together and I'm gonna actually do perform a lot of the old hits somewhere and people want to see you live, then that's different. I remember that song when child, a lot of Hammer's hits had samples all over it, didn't it? Gen X and Elder Millennials. I was 13 when Big Willie Style came out. That's why I said like Elder Millennials, and then Gen X. I said Gen Z. I was like, these Gen Z kids don't care about him. And maybe they do when they watch Will Smith movies and stuff, and they just discovering a lot of the things that he did. But for the most part, no. I can see that, yeah, you're gonna have to do smaller venues. Maybe there's more money to be made overseas than it is in the US. All right, now speaking of flopping, let's get into American Idol. So, because apparently word on the street, they saying that Carrie Underwood, her being on American Idol, like the ratings and everything is starting off pretty rocky because the people just don't care about this new season and saying that it's just stale. But I did also hear that because they're talking about that American Idol's ratings are dipping. I did hear that they're doing better in the ratings than The Voice, but And what magnitude? Because both shows is outdated, they're trash, and I don't even think that just the celebritydom alone keeps these shows afloat. Maybe they did back in the day, but it's just like, to me, I feel like the format has gone pretty stale. So, according to Atlanta Black Star, Carrie Underwood has been all over our TV screens lately as the new judge of American Idol, performing before the Times Square ball drop on New Year's Eve. And then y'all remember the infamous singing the national anthem for Donald Trump, which they were talking about that things were going wrong when she was singing America the Beautiful and blah, 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 so on and so forth. There was glitches that happened and she ended up singing a cappella. And then there was allegedly she was upset over the rinky dink setup and then she didn't have a stage or a platform inside. And so she was upset by all that. But I'm like, girl, look who you wanted to sing for. Like, you really think that that man was going to make it about you? It's all about him. Even now, he don't care about nobody but himself and what he can benefit from in the midst of it all. It's not even about the people. And it's funny how America thinks that he cares about y'all. He don't. Trust and believe, and it's showing it in his actions. But anyway, so according to reports, is that they're trying to say that the ratings for American Idol have dropped dramatically compared to previous season, and industry insiders have theories. So apparently, some people spoke behind the scenes to Radar Online and said that they're concerned about the current slide in viewership and are reportedly pointing their fingers at Miss Underwears. The gossip site is claiming they said, quote, some fans didn't love that she sang for President Trump. It alienated a part of the audience. And then another person said there's a glowing feeling that she's overexposed or maybe just not connecting with younger viewers. Well, I don't know if Carrie Underwood is overexposed because before we even got the announcement that she was on American Idol, I wasn't really hearing about her. I mean, but then again, I don't keep my ear to the country music streets, so I don't know if she's overexposed in that demographic. But to be honest, when I'm sitting there listening or paying attention to what's going on in the pop culture zeitgeist, I do not hear Carrie Underwood's name on anybody's radar. Not with all the stuff that I be talking about over here. So what overexposure? I just think that American Idol, when it was canceled, it should have stayed dead. I don't understand why they brought, and I'm talking about back when they even brought Katy Perry, Lionel Richie, and Luke Bryan on. I don't understand the point of them reviving the show. I just think that y'all were looking at pre-existing IPs that were left dormant, and you thought, oh yeah, let's revive something because it's cheaper. We'll look for music talent, but the reality is nobody searches the way that America Idol kind of set the standard and was the old guard of how you search for talent. That doesn't exist anymore. We have social media. So people are discovering talent on TikTok. People are discovering talent on YouTube. People are discovering talent on Instagram and all these other social media conglomerates. So you don't need a legacy television network to discover new talent. And plus, the way that y'all running things over there in America Idol, I feel like y'all trying to gatekeep the genre of music that y'all want to let in and out of stuff. It always seems like y'all want to pick some squeaky clean country bumpkin or whatever, or somebody that kind of sings like these safe little songs. Nobody really stands out. Nobody's interesting, which is why when you look at it, how is it like the highlight so far of that the tip on everybody's tongue is really pushing the boundaries of pop is Lady Gaga. Everybody else is out here doing stuff, but a lot of y'all are boring. Or a lot of y'all don't even take the time or the effort, Tyler, to put in with y'all, with y'all performances and stuff. Yeah, I'm talking about her because she was just performing at Coachella. So that's why I brought her up. Made me sweat, made me holler while I'm out of breath. So now, a former Idol producer painted a different picture, saying that the outlet that America Idol simply needs to freshen up its format, saying, quote, the format feels tired now. The show hasn't reinvented itself in years. Even diehard fans are drifting away. And remember, not only that, but it seemed like a lot of people, because we did this story a couple recently, I don't remember how long ago, but we do so many episodes in this show, I can't keep track. But people were complaining that there's too much Nepo babies popping up on this show. We got Carney Wilson's daughter, Brian Luttrell's son. I mean, we've had Nepo babies perform on the shows throughout the many seasons of American Idol, but they feel like the Nepo baby push is even more obvious now. So that's apparently turning people off. They don't like the fact that, because so-and-so is related to a celebrity, that they automatically get pushed through, even if they sound like they're a goat being strangled. And I'm just saying that just in general. I'm not trying to say that those kids can't sing and they don't have talent, but also I feel like when you're in a situation, okay, I can understand a Jordan Sparks. Jordan Sparks is different because Jordan Sparks' father was a football player. He was an athlete, and therefore she's a singer. He don't know nothing about music or the music industry. And the way that the music industry was, this was pre-internet. This was pre-TikTok and all of that other stuff. So her going on a reality competition series and trying to make it on her own and become an artist, that's way different than Brian Littrell's son and Carney Wilson's daughter coming on when you have parents, both of y'all got parents who are in the mainstream music industry and can help y'all possibly get record deals. But then again, Brian Littrell's son was putting out music and nobody cared. What's his name? Bailey? He was putting out music and nobody cared. So now you want to use American Idol and try to, I guess, maybe that's just, I want to show you my personality. So that way people are like, oh, I know him. He was on this show. And then I'm going to go and listen to his stuff. So that's what it feels like. It's more about me trying to sell my personality to people because my music's not selling. And then maybe when people see the type, how personable I am, then they'll come and support the other stuff. So according to the U.S. Sun, slightly more than 4.5 million viewers tuned into the American Idol March 16th episode, 800,000 fewer than the rival show The Voice. The ratings have continued to plummet, with 4 million people watching the March 23rd episode and even fewer tuning into the normally popular Hollywood Week Part 1 episode on March 31st. Now, Underwood was brought on as a judge, as y'all know, to replace Katy Perry, and reportedly making half of what Katy was making, because didn't they say Katy Perry was making 25 million? Well, apparently, not even a half. It's a half and some change. We'll say that, because Katy Perry was making allegedly $25 million a season, which is crazy that she was making that much. But comparing that, I wonder how much Luke Bryan and Ron Richie was making, because they said that Carrie Underwood is making less. But who cares? $10 million a season, I'll take that. I mean, I would be upset that I'm making less than so-and-so, whatever. But then again, she is new to the show, so she hasn't been there where she could be making the same amount. But who wouldn't want $10 million to be bagging in their account a year just for sitting on your ass critiquing people? I do it. And then they also said that her reported diva behavior when the cameras aren't rolling has again landed the songstress in hot water. She's making it very clear that she wants the VIP treatment. Word is she wants plenty of staff, limo service, all her favorite foods, even the temperature to be a certain way. Meanwhile, it's been 10 weeks since the inauguration, and the comments are still coming in fast and furious over the official American Idol Instagram. So yeah, a lot of people are just not liking the fact that Carrie Underwood decided to align herself with the enemy, and that would be that current idiot in chief that we have, destroying what's left of our democracy in this damn country. And so people are feeling a way about that. But I feel like it could be a plethora of things. I think it could be also, one, people don't like who Carrie Underwood has aligned herself with politically, even though she hasn't endorsed Trump. But you singing at his inauguration, bitch, that's an endorsement. I don't care what anybody say. We don't know if you pulled the lever for Trump. However, I don't believe she did it for Kamala. But if you're gonna sit up there and perform for the president of the United States, people thinking that, okay, you aligning yourself with the enemy. So you shouldn't be surprised with the outcome. But I also think that people are just bored with American Idol. Like, there's nothing, it's just boring now. It's not as iconic and as entertaining and as interesting and on our radar like it used to be. I mean, at least not for me. I haven't kept, look, I already told y'all, I have not given the good goddamn about American Idol since David Archuleta's Fine Behind was on there. Well, I wasn't looking at him like that then because he looked like a child. But now, oh, that boy can sit on my face. First of all, he's legal. He's 35. So I can say that. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards of Carrie Underwears, as I like to call her, where they said that the ratings are dropping and they feel like it's because Carrie Underwood's alignment with Donald Trump? I think it's a plethora. I don't think it's just that. I think that may be part of it. But I also think it's because I don't think anybody gives a damn about American Idol anymore. Like, we need some new, exciting stuff on TV. And people ain't watching legacy TV like that no more. I mean, I get it. I know that American Idol is on, you can watch it on Hulu and stuff. But still, I just think like the format of American Idol that show died like 10 years ago. So, or that format, in my opinion, died 10 years ago. And y'all should have left the show dead the first time you canceled it. So I want to hear from you all. So let me know what your thoughts are on this story in them good old comments down below. All right. Felix said, plus it's the Nepo baby season. Is anyone even watching the show? Probably not. Oh, so Onyx is in the comments because he went back and watched my Gagachella performance critique. He said the weakest part of Gagachella for me was the shallow. Yeah, I didn't like the fact that she put shallow in there. I'm like, girl, you should. I know you need to catch your breath, but you singing that and Die with a Smile, can you leave those songs on the cutting room floor? We don't want to hear them. It does not fit in with the format of the concept which we're talking about. So at times, like you were on theme with the concept, but then when you started bringing them little ballads, it's like, leave Shallow where it is, in its shallow grave, and nobody wants to hear Die with a Smile. Yes, it's a big hit for you, but I hate that song. And Bruno is so damn pretentious. Like, I just don't see the whole appeal of Bruno Mars, but I understand. It's a big hit for her. She feels the need to sing it. And there's a point for her to show off her vocals. The weakest part of it was Shallow after Born This Way. My favorite part was the blue ensemble with Killer. How Bad Do You Want Me to Zombie Boy and the Sand performance. Well, I do like Perfect Celebrity. I was like, I didn't like the whole blue situation. You did. I think maybe it was one of the song choices. I like this performance more than Baychella, but that's just personal preference. There's usually one or two A-list acts as headliners, but it's always been an indie music festival. I kind of wish it would go back to that. Nestle Crunchy said Tyler used to perform better. I don't know what's the problem. Maybe her back. Do she have a back injury? I mean, well, she weighed like 12 pounds soaking wet. Plus, I heard today's people don't want superstars, but their own secret. Last year alone, where Taylor Swift was the bigger artist, an article came out saying music is becoming an individual experience because of I mean, music is an individual experience. It's always been that way. Whereas, like, you know, what you take from it is your own personal experience. So I don't understand why they're saying like it's now becoming. I mean, I've always thought it was. I just feel like because of social media, it's becoming, people are becoming more aware of it. Um, but I do agree when you're saying like what people like aren't on Billboard. I think that comes from the fact that the industry is still trying to gatekeep and control what people listen to. And it's like people listen to all kinds of stuff. There are people that go from Lady Gaga, you know, mainstream stuff like a Lady Gaga, the Benson Boone, and um J.J. Abrams' daughter and Olivia Rodrigo, and they out there mixing in Cobra, Slater, you know, and all different types of artists. So everybody ain't listening to just what you trying to spoon feed people. And I wish the industry would kind of get hip to that, but they still trying to fight. You know, they still trying to hold on to that control. So okay, well, if y'all keep at it. Like you said, what people like aren't on Billboard are able to even tour, or independent acts are becoming extremely huge in the internet world. Yeah, I mean, I like independent acts, but they need a little more exposure and a way to be able to tour their stuff. Christina Grimmie was one of the first artists to get famous from YouTube. I remember Christina Grimmie. Didn't she die? I'll send you the video of one of my favorite YouTubers saying Anna is racist. White people say she isn't, but well, you talking about Anna Kasparian, that bitch? We don't like her. We don't like her. Or that fat neck bastard that she works with. You know, Hassan Piker, fine ass, ugly ass. Well, Hassan Piker's the fine ass. What is Jank to him? His uncle? I can't stand him. He just loud and just wrong all the damn time. No, I'm not talking about pretentious in the way he talks. I'm talking about his overall performance. Like, I just feel like Bruno gives me, like, you just doing James Brown cosplay. Kind of like what Benson Boone's giving me Freddie Mercury cosplay. Like, I want to see you performing up there on that stage. It feels like you are just trying to embody what previous artists before you have done. You don't do Like, if you want to learn how to really do Freddie Mercury, but make him your own, you need to have a conversation with Adam Lambert, because Adam Lambert could teach you a thing or two. In my generation, we learned that, like, you use the inspiration and mix it in your own gumbo. You don't go up there and exactly try to do like literally what they do. And your performance of Bohemian Rhapsody was basically giving me American Idol style performance, meaning that you got up on stage and you basically was trying to give a rendition of what you think Freddie would do rather than you being yourself or making a song your own. Kind of like when I use an example. When you hear I Will Always Love You by Dolly Parton, which is her song, and Whitney Houston's I Will Always Love You, same song, completely different. Whitney went and made it her own. That's what you have to do with the music. It's kind of like when Adam Lambert did a cover of Mad World, completely different than the original version. You literally trying to do everything down to the part. Lady Gaga needs to allow herself to lip sync. I get that she's adamant on being not the other pop stars, but stop vilifying lip syncing. Oh, child, during certain performances, trust and believe I'll be like, turn my vocals down low. I'll do like the bottom vocal, like I'll like a soft, deep part. My pre-recorded vocals, I'll be hitting them high notes. But during the other part, because if I got to be up there dancing and trying to catch my breath at the same time, if you do a lower register, you can get away with a whole lot more. So I'm gonna get my T-Boz bag, and you do the lower register while I have the background track and the background singers do the high register. Because if I'm gonna get up there and sing my songs, I'm not gonna be up there trying to be like, oh yeah, I gotta show y'all I can say, because I'm not gonna blow up my vocal cords. I'm not gonna be up there sounding pitchy and sharp. So I want to give y'all perfection. That's what you get. You get in the lower register when I'm up there going full out in the choreography. So something does have to give. So I do agree with that in the sense of, yeah, I don't know if I would lip sync, but I would just have to try to find a way to tonally pick a different note. So that way, if I'm going to get up there and give y'all vocals, I'm not going to give you like the full on, like full out register. Cause it's like, damn, then you're going to be up there out of breath. You're going to be just out of a mess. And I did see at certain time that she was trying to like catch up in situations, but she worked her ass off though. But the thing with Gaga is, she's always feeling like she got to prove herself. And it's like, girl, we get it. We know you can sing. He said we don't like, well, I think mostly a lot of people don't like ballads. Because it's like, you got to be in the moment. So, oh my God, I have to really sit with this. You know what's gotten annoying too? The fact that people don't be in the moment and watch shows anymore. Whenever a song, oh my God, I got to pull out my phone and record it. That's so annoying. See, he gives karaoke, and that was, I don't know why I couldn't think of that, but it was like, yeah, Bruno Mars. It was giving me, Bruno Mars gives me karaoke. Benson Boone gave me a karaoke rendition of Bohemian Rhapsody at Coachella. But he was cute to look at though, like that little mesh outfit he had on. I was like, okay, I said the cheeks are shaking. I don't want to rely on my body to sell records. He said announces the album when he's shirtless for most of the. Did you get? Child, did you get Make America Great Again tease in that album cover? It gave me that when he announced it and showed it up on the end. It's like, yeah, you don't have a shirt on. So everything is just sexual sex. Like, you selling sex. But then when I listen to the music, I'm like, I'm bored. You being half naked is not enough. Like, at this point, you might as well just start a goddamn OnlyFans. If I want to listen to ballads, I'll listen to bit. Okay. And if I want to have to turn my damn speaker all the way up full volume to understand what the hell she's saying, I will listen to Billie Eilish. That's what irked me as I was watching the stream. Too many phones out and not. Okay. Yeah, that's what I was like. I would want to watch it and be in the moment. Everybody's like, oh, wait, but I want to show you. And I was like, okay, bitch, we got that you're there. It's kind of like when I was at work yesterday and the security was making me laugh because it was like, nobody cares about y'all pictures because everybody wants to take photos and stuff at MSG, especially because it was a Knicks game. I'm like, look, we trying to clear everybody out of the arena. And y'all literally want to start a line to go down the steps to take photos. And it's not just one photo. They want to do a full-on photo shoot. And it's like, I'm literally watching you take 30 photos, and there's people behind y'all that still want to come to us. Y'all supposed to have did this before the show started, the game started. Like, y'all can't be doing all this in here. And then the security guards, they be quick to be like, y'all gotta go. We gotta clear out. Because people just want to come in and do shoots. And it's like, look, just be in the moment. Take maybe 1 or 2 photos to show that you are at the, at Coachella, whatever the case is. But yeah, we don't know how to be in the moment anymore. We don't know how to like take things in and enjoy, because now it's all a blur, it's all gone, and you really wasn't watching the show. You were just taking your camera out and taking a photo. Like, if I'm gonna go to a concert, or if I'm gonna, I'll take a couple of pictures and stuff, or I might take a little video. But for the most part, I want to be there in the moment and watch the show. It's like with Madonna. When I did this, when I worked, not worked. I wish I would have worked the Celebration tour, but when I went to go see her Celebration tour, I recorded like Ray of Light, Nothing Really Matters. I forget what else performance I recorded, but then after that, I watched the whole show. I was like, I need to be in the moment. I want to actually take it all in. The album, that's where. Oh, I read that one. I was like, wait, where did I go? The album. Not a boner killer. Yeah, and it sounds like that's what he getting into with the music. I'm like, okay, boy, you can keep it. Because everybody's just gonna be singing beautiful things for the rest. That's the song you're gonna be singing for the rest of your life. Your whole tour gonna be 10 minutes because nobody care about them other songs. And that's no shade. And he said, we have perfect pop stars, but because Troye Sivan is making sure when it comes to sex, he likes men, making it hard to market him in conservative markets. Who cares about conservatives? Like, these conservatives have too much going for them. And I've been like, okay, well, my music is not boring. I don't want to just be up here just pretend to be something I'm not. If you either are in on it and you don't. So I don't understand why the industry continues. We have to market you to conservatives. No, you don't. Everything ain't for them. And they need to, and a lot of people need to understand everything isn't for everybody. And if it's not for you, then that's great. Move on to the next thing. Like what you like. They're always trying to market people to somebody who then it's not for them. It's like, can you market me to the people that actually like me? Homosexuals and women. Women are a big market. Instead of him smiling in front of a naked guy's, oh, it's the Blue Neighborhood artwork with the album title being the new album. Wait, you talking about Troy's last album cover? Because I like the picture of him with his head on the naked guy's lap. I was like, oh. And I'm like, look, if I got to do a joint tour for the rest of my life in order to get up in arenas or whatever, I'll be fine with that. But I'm not changing who I am as an artist because the conservative music industry doesn't want to support what I'm doing. I'll find ways to sell my music. And if I got to do smaller venues, even if I had to do a theaters type show and I had to do multiple dates, I'd be like, okay, we'll do it. But I'm going to still give y'all an arena size show. I'm going to give you theatrics. I'm going to give you all of that. And then if you build it, they will come, which they will have to be forced to be like, okay, I built it. Now people are coming here to see it. And y'all trying to hit on my situation. It's not going to work. But anyway, let's get back to the show. Look where we go. Oh, let's talk about Wendy Williams. How you doing? So there's a lot going on with Miss Wendy. One thing I forgot to bring up. I was like, wait a minute. There was something I forgot to bring up. And that was, first of all, there was 2 stories. So there was one about, her dealing with her no good behind this judge that seems to have it out for Wendy. But also she's going through it with Big Kev. Remember him? Her no good, low down, dirty dog of a husband number 2, because she was married before. She will tell you that story. She's told us it many a times. But yeah, so before we get to the part about the judge, I do want to give you guys an update on this situation. So her ex-husband apparently has Sir is suffering a legal setback. So that's the latest story in regards of that. And, because he's been trying to go to battle and getting money and stuff from the Wendy Williams show that he said that they held back from him. And it looks like in the words of In Vogue, you're never going to get it. So, according to court documents obtained by In Touch on April 8th, the United States Court of Appeals for the Second Circuit vacated a big win for Kevin, 52, in the legal battle. Now, as In Touch previously reported, back in 2023, Kelvin, because that's what we call him over here, filed a bombshell lawsuit against the production company behind the Wendy Williams show, Deborah Mercury, along with individual producers Ira Bernstein and Mort Marcus. Now, in his complaint, Kevin complained he was wrongfully terminated from his role as EP on the show after Wendy filed for divorce in 2019. But if you listen to Wendy, Wendy fired his ass. It wasn't them. She said, "Oh no, I got rid of him after you did her dirty." See, she let you slide with the cheating over the years. But when you brought a little journey up in this world, she was like, "Oh no, it's a wrap." Because now I can't be in denial about your cheatations anymore. Now it actually is real life. It exists. I can't not ignore it anymore. Eyes barreling down the bottom of a bottle. Now, the termination of Kevin was basically strictly upon Kelvin's marital status and his impending divorce to the show's host, ignoring all of the contributions that Kelvin made to make the show a success. This is according to his lawsuit. Now, in his filing, Kelvin took credit for the Wendy Williams show's massive success. He claimed he led the shit behind the scenes and made sure Wendy was taken care of. Well, you also was probably steamrolling and bullying and acting like you were Suge Knight behind the scenes, making sure Wendy got what she needed, and you kept her busy and distracted while you was out there laying it over, spreading it wide with Sharina. So don't try to sit up here and try to act like that you was all, Mr. Manager. Like I give a good goddamn about Wendy when you was up in here doing your damn mess. He got such a big old top head. You look much better here with the shades and a little, that Beijing at the top of your head. They said that Wendy's ex-husband demanded $7 million in damages because he running out here allegedly broke. He also said he had final say on the guests for the show and even had input on marketing decisions. He also accused the producers of violating New York law when they fired him due to his marital status and said they had no right to terminate his contract. So Deborah Mercury and the individual producers deny all allegations of wrongdoing. In their response, they disagree with Kelvin and his legal team's argument and interpretation of New York law. They argued that the law said an employer cannot discriminate against an employee based on their marital status, basically whether they are married or not married. So Deborah Mercury argued that Kelvin's claims warranted dismissal due to his marriage to Wendy in particular is not protected characteristic by the law. They said New York law did not discover discrimination based on an employee's marital status in relation to a specific person. And in September of 2023, the federal judge presiding over the case ruled Kelvin's lawsuit could move forward. The judge also said, given Kelvin's allegations that he was terminated because of his impending divorce from Wendy, terminated because terminated because he would no longer be married to Wendy, Morse requires the court to find that he has stated a claim for marital status discrimination. The producers appealed the decision to deny their motion to dismiss. So, isn't it that Wendy's is the one that proceeded with firing him? I could have sworn she the one that said that was going to happen. So if there's anybody you need to take this up with, is your ex-wife. I don't think you should be out here trying to blame the network or the producers that worked on the Wendy Williams show, because I don't believe that they would have had anything to do with it. It's like if she said, okay, after all of this and everything that's going on, get rid of him, I'm sure everybody was just like, okay, well, now we changing the locks. Your credentials have been revoked. They no longer work in this building. So yeah, you cannot come in. And now he out here being bitter because Kelvin has not protruded any kind of, or produced, I should say, any kind of new talent post his wife. You had a good thing when you were with Wendy. All you had to do was keep your damn legs closed and your pants up around your damn waist. But you couldn't do that. Because I guess, with her giving you an opportunity as a manager, because, a lot of these men around here feel inadequate to stronger women, particularly a Wendy Williams type and a black woman. And that's what we're focusing on over here. A lot of you men want to go off and cheat because who are you outside of this whole situation? Your whole life was wrapped up in Wendy. If it wasn't for Wendy, you wouldn't have the things that you have. You was over here whining, dining, and 69ing your mistress on Wendy's dime. Because yes, you were her employer. If you're her manager, you work for her. So, and you ain't had no talent post that. And we all knew about the shenanigans that you were pulling behind the scenes against other people. Nene Leakes told a story about how you helped sabotage her talk show deal. I believe that was supposed to be happening with Debma Mercury when Wendy was at the top of her game. So good luck to you, Kelvin. You ain't getting that money though, but it's a nice try. But look, when you lose this case, I hope you got a way to scrape together the money to pay these attorneys fees. Now let's get into these other stories about Wendy. So the judge presiding in her case is out here saying some shadiness about the talk show host. So, the other day, what was it, like April Fool's, I believe, where fans showed up to advocate for her freedom, where they had like a free Wendy type situation. I also heard that Jason Lee is doing a brunch or something in New York, which I need to know the context of that. I mean, are you raising money to help with proceeds for her legal fees or whatever the case is, or like to help her get free? Like, why are we doing a free Wendy brunch? Inquiring minds want to know. But yeah, that's what Lipo Lee is doing, apparently, from Hollywood Unlocked. And according to a new TMZ report, they said that she attended a court hearing on Thursday, April 10th, so that was 2 days ago, concerning her efforts to escape her guardianship and prove her solid mental capacities. However, according to the sources, Judge Lisa Sokoloff had some critical things to say about the radio and TV personality, plus her family. So multiple sources with direct knowledge tell TMZ during a hearing this week that the judge told Wendy she has no hope of restarting her career. It's pretty outrageous. Wendy showed up in court Thursday and appeared before Judge Lisa Sokoloff. According to sources, they told TMZ that the judge railed on Wendy's niece, Alex Finney, accusing her of leaking information to the media and threatening her with sanctions for future conduct. The judge wasn't finished because then she also attacked Wendy's family, essentially saying they were no good. Well, how are they no good when they're trying to help her get out of this conservatorship? Is there something that this judge knows that we don't? Because what else are they going to do to be able to get her out of this situation? If they went through the proper channels, and I don't know if they've gone through the proper channels. See, that's a question that I feel like TMZ, Don Lemon, The Breakfast Club, all of them should have been doing instead of just letting Wendy and whoever is her co-mouthpiece sit up there and talk about all the atrocities she's been dealing with at the hands of this guardianship. Are there people, have they tried to get her out of this conservatorship? Because according to Wendy, she's the one that signed herself into this guardianship. But she said she didn't, she wanted guardrails on her situation, whatever, but she didn't know it was going to be this bad. That's what she said in a recent interview. So maybe she should have read the fine print or looked into guardianships. Because I understand it's like if you are on a decline mentally, if she does have frontal temporal dementia, if she does have a case of dementia, which I do feel like because Wendy is an alcohol, I'm not saying was, because she is, once an alcohol, always an alcohol, is a disease that is hard to come by. It's a one day at a time situation, especially when you're an addict. So with her and her excessive drinking, I do believe that it has caused damage to her physically. And, along with all the other physical ailments that she has or medical ailments that she has going on through her body. So I do feel that she does need things in place, a financial advisor and someone that can keep her on the straight and narrow, making sure that, like a sober coach or something, someone that can keep her away from the alcohol. And someone who can also make sure that all the I's is dotted and the T's are crossed on her money and she's not being taken advantage of. But for this judge to come out and rip into the family because they've been going to the press and trying to get help because these people that work behind the scenes are taking advantage of her, I don't like that. That's probably the only what's the word? I feel like that's probably they had their backs up against the wall, and this was the only thing that they could think of and they could do. Let's use the media. Wendy is a media personality, so let's use her media friends to help get her free and put pressure on the courts. to do their damn job and stop taking advantage of this woman. But then she's making it seem like the family is no good and they trying to take advantage of Wendy. So it's like she said, because it's literally women in this situation, especially with the judge being a woman. They also said that the judge, out of the blue, started talking about Wendy's career. They said Wendy had a great career, but it was over, adding that she will never have a career again. It's done. So how are you out here determining somebody whether or not they're gonna have a career? Now let's unpack that, because what she's basically saying, are you saying is because of whatever medical ailment that she has that she won't be able to continue her career in media? Because I do feel like, okay, if she is free with the guardrails in place where she has a financial advisor and a sober coach and all these other people that can help keep her on the up and up, and a permanent nurse that can make sure that she's getting taken care of and she's getting, all the things that she needs. Do I think that there is a place for Wendy to come back into the media empire in which she built, that so many of us, including myself, stand on the shoulders of? And no shade, but I do not feel like Wendy has the capacity or the energy or the wherewithal to be able to come back and do and reign supreme on what she did back on them 13 seasons of the Wendy Williams show. I don't. Now, if she want to come out and do a little podcast that's once a week or twice a week and put something together where she can spew celebrity news and gossip and have a co-host, because I don't think Wendy could do it by herself. I think she would need a co-host, somebody that she can go back and forth with. Then maybe we could do that. But I feel like in our heart of hearts, she shouldn't be in this guardianship. But I don't know. I just think in media, she should just not come back, because I feel like that'll kind of be like when Michael Jordan retired and then he came out of retirement and started playing baseball. I feel like that's what that's gonna be. It's like, maybe you should have stayed retired. So you want to remember people when they were at their best rather than when they try to attempt a comeback and the comeback was a disaster. So we don't want to put her in a situation where she's going to be out here embarrassing herself. I know we want that old Wendy back. I know that we want to see that no one could do it like she does. Wendy is one of a kind. But the reality is, if she doesn't have the wherewithal to relaunch the career that she once reigned supreme at, then maybe it's best that she just retire and find other ways to make money that's in this space, that she could just like sell products on the QVC. Who knows? But TMZ said, look, lots of people are, because if she's trying to say like nobody's not interested in what Wendy has to say, because to be honest, she doesn't have any expertise on the entertainment industry. So if Wendy wants to attempt to make the comeback, to do or do not, there is no try. If she wants to try to make the comeback, let her do it. And if she falls on her face, that's okay. Then if she doesn't, we'll always, I'll be watching. But if she does, we all got the memories of the old shows, and we can always go back and watch the old Wendy Williams clips. They're all over YouTube and the old episodes of her shows. So if I want to laugh, I can go back and just watch all the old Wendy stuff that I usually do anyway when I'm on YouTube. But look, TMZ also want us to know that their to-be documentary, Saving Wendy, viewed in huge numbers and various outlets, have been reported on her bid to end the guardianship. So people love Saving Wendy over there on Tubi. I know I watched it, and it was actually pretty good. I thought out of all the interviews and things that Wendy's done, her thing with Harvey and them over at TMZ was the best. So I believe that they said her what is it? Joe Tacopina was pissed off by what he said, by what the judge said in regards to Wendy Williams. But we'll see how he handles this whole thing when, this whole case continues to do what it does. But I want to hear from y'all. What do you guys think of this story? Do you think that it is the end of the road for Miss Wendy Williams? And hopefully, you know what? I'm just hoping in my heart of hearts that she does get out of this conservatorship. So whatever your thoughts are on this matter, let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. I read the visa issue for FKA Twigs' 5 dancers are trans and had everything changed to match their current genders. That's illegal in the US, so that's why the tour got canceled, because most of her identity. at birthday warrant. So there's going to be a lot of tours going to be only international for the next 4 years. Hopefully they do learn that let us pick the candidate, because guess what? AOC and Bernie's still out here on this little tour that they've been doing, this anti-oligarchy tour. Well, hopefully this ushers in a new generation of progressives that give a damn about this country. We push these old corporate slaves out, the ones that only want the oligarchs and the millionaires and the billionaires trying to tell us how we should be living our lives. And Silicon Valley basically taking over politics. So hopefully we get to that area, and then we don't get to a point that, yeah, we believe in Bernie, we believe in AOC, but then 4 years from now they go and run behind Gavin Newsom. And I've seen all these things recently where they talk about they got a lot of celebrities, including, which is disappointing but not surprised. First, when you're in Florida, stay in Florida. I understand you from New York, you grew up here and everything, but you in Florida. So I don't even know why he tried to endorse him. But Billy Joel, apparently, I heard, gave money, a lot of money, to Andrew Cuomo to run for mayor in New York. It's like, we don't want him. We want Zoran Mamdani. That's what I'm liking. I don't trust nothing about no damn Cuomo. Quiet as it's kept. A lot of us, a lot of black people did not do well under his governorship. So now he want to be up in here and be the damn mayor. It's like, sit your ass down. I just want her to get out of the conservatorship as well. I do not want her back on TV. I'll happily keep watching. Exactly. That's how I feel about it, because I be hearing to say that, yeah, she can come back. She need to. No, sorry. Them days when Wendy Williams at the top of her game is gone. And so I'm just like, no, I don't want to see her back on TV, because I don't want her coming on TV and looking a mess, and then y'all gonna come out here and criticize her and be negative. So it's best that she just, oh yeah, I forgot to mention that. Yeah, she did have dinner with Dawn, but then I think, denied her having dinner with her niece. But yeah, I heard that she had dinner with Dawn. I forgot to mention that. Usually the younger generation tend to run the opposite of the administration they grew up in, which explains why so many boomers were hippies and Zoomers were liberals. I get along with a lot of boomers because, yeah, they were hippies. And usually when I'm doing a lot of concerts, especially like if you, like, I feel like when that, because there's a concert coming out, I think on the 15th. When is that? Or the 16th, one of those damn days. I don't know. There's a concert coming up with the brothers. I'm like, yeah, that gives me hipster tees. So I'll probably be watching that one or working that one. And a lot of the older people coming with their little headbands on and stuff, and it's like, they're cool. But yeah, I feel like my generation, like the boomers, as you call them, Zoomers, because I feel like I'm on the cusp of that, like in between boomers and Gen Z. Like I'm in between that whole mark. So I'm on the border, about to cross over it, but not really. And yeah, a lot of I realized that I was like, when did my generation become so damn conservative? Maybe I was the rare bird, or maybe it was because it was the product in which we came up, like 9/11 and all that, and then Reagan and all that. But I'm like, we don't remember them eras. We was too damn little when Ronald Reagan. Well, I was like an infant when freaking Ronald Reagan was president. I don't remember him. But anyway, let's move on. Let's see how many more topics we got. Ooh, we got 4 more topics, and then we're done with today's show. So before we get to the final 4, the core 4, if you could please do me a solid and hit that like button and subscribe button. Also, smash the notification bell so that way you'll know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I'll also be posting timestamps once the live stream is over in the post show, so that way you will be, when you come in, if you just watch the playback, you'll be able to just follow along with the topics at hand instead of having to just listen to the live banter that we do from the people that actually watch the live feed. Please and thank you. So now, without further ado, let's get into some homosexual news. And let's talk about Wilson Cruz had to come out here and drag Terrence tight ass over some comments he was making about the gays. And it's funny because when I first heard, when I was reading the article and stuff, it was different. But then after, when I read the article about him talking about men in Hollywood and all this other stuff, when I saw the video, I'm just like, is it me? Or is this video homophobic. Like, he's giving me homophobic tease. And this is what I don't understand. You did a whole show with Empire with Jussie Smollett and Brashear Gray, who out here doing OF content with other men. So two of your sons on the show doing homosexual things, and you out here talking about you not giving up the booty or you won't make out with no man, and then threw Justin Bieber in the conversation about sexual abuse allegedly and all that. And it's like, wait a minute. So Justin Bieber, number one, was a child allegedly when the things were happening to him, and which is why we seeing the crash out now of him wearing a sweater half on, half off, his whole tidy whities exposed, and going in on the paparazzi about, y'all don't care about me, give me money. You trying to make money off of me, and doing his little crash out situation and trying to shoo people away while he going into whatever place he was going into, which to me, you doing that brings attention to you even more. And then people gonna hold up their cameras and now they know how to get up under your skin. Just throw your shades on, walk to them people like you don't know, pay them dust, because you crashing out and you having this whole temper tantrum, that just eggs them on. Trust and believe, Britney Spears went through that. So, out Star Trek Discovery star Wilson Cruz is clapping back after the actor Terrence Howard went on a homophobic rant on a podcast. And funny enough, what I did not know, when I talked about the show, he went on the PBD podcast, which I did not know until friend of the show, Robert, mentioned. That's a conservative podcast. I was like, oh, because I don't look, I've already said way too many times on this channel, there are way too many podcasts out here. Everybody and their mama got a goddamn podcast, but y'all saying a bunch of damn nothing. Quiet as it's kept. So I got the clip of Terrence out here looking all kinds of nutty. Cause they say he into like moon and moon chakras and all kinds of weird shit. So he came out here and said some foolishness. I got a little clip. We're gonna play the clip and then we'll come back and we'll talk. Please hold.
You know, when you approach a real man about his masculinity, you're gonna get a real reaction back. It's a difference when a guy walks in a room and when a man walks into a room. And a man don't take the same things that a guy will accept. So always be the man in the room. And that's always been my whole thing. And have lost businesses because I don't bend over in that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that shit because the man card means everything.
Okay, so I don't know what the hell he means by that, because what does kissing a man have to do with anything? First of all, it takes a real man to take a dick up his ass. Number one. So you running around here talking about, oh, I don't do that stuff. So taking a dick up your butt or making out with a man makes you less than a man? Well, you don't know many homosexuals, because the clean out, the fact that you got to be able to take them long, thick ones, as a lot of, shout out to you bottoms. Once upon a time I did when I was in my early 20s, and I was like, this is not in my ministry. So now I'm just a strict top. But at least I know what it feels like, because when I was back in the day experimenting and trying to figure out what it was that I was into sexually, that's what I did. But now it's like, oh, I know what to do. So it's like, it takes a real man to take a dick, number one. So, and once you've done it, then you actually know how to please your bottoms or whatever the case is. So don't speak on things you don't know anything about, because he also said, when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That's all the people that went to puffy parties. Because, you know, all the old school people, like from Wendy Williams on to Terrence, call him Puffy still. Even though he had like 5,000 different damn names. He said that was all the people that did all those things, thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing. Get punked out and pimped out by some greater desire. And then he said that he refused to play gay roles because he feared losing his man card. And I'm feeling like, first of all, last time I checked, you're an actor. So whether or not you play gay, you feel like that makes you less than a man? Like, to me, this whole misogynoir mentality that he has, you sound dumb as hell. But I understand you got to go on a conservative podcast and sell a narrative, because quiet as it's kept, ain't nobody checking for Terrence Howard. Terrence Howard, in my opinion, I feel like ruined his career. You had so many good things going for you. You was a nuisance on the set of Iron Man, which is why they fired you after the first one and replaced you with Don Cheadle. And I'm sure he didn't have to bring his knee pads to a MCU meeting and have to blow Kevin Feige to get that part. It was given to him because Don Cheadle's a good damn actor. You're, in my opinion, have always given me asshole energy. And he said, I've lost business because I don't bend over that way. I don't compromise. I don't play gay roles. I don't kiss a man. I don't do that ish because the man card means everything. Well, I don't think you a real man any damn way, because being a man has nothing to do with how you move sexually. Being a man is just being respectful of, in my opinion, being respectful of the people that surround you, not being disrespectful or trying to indoctrinate a lot of your ignorant ass beliefs on other people. Is moving through life doing your thing. As long as, my motto was always live and let live. As long as it's not hurting me or affecting me, I don't give a damn what you do. If you're not affecting me or other people, then have at it. Do what you need to do to make your life feel the way it is. So then after that, Wilson Cruz, openly homosexual actor who's been around since, my so-called life, that was his debut, basically threw a little shade at Miss Howard. Now, Cruz shared a video of Howard on PBD and said, he sure did talk a different talk and act in a different way when it came to working with me in the 90s. Love my work, love my choices, etc. This fool's out here performing for the white man, and put it in caps, WHYTE, doing and saying what he needs to do to get over. He is quite literally bending over and doing what pleases the man, and he seems to enjoy it. The truth is, no one wants to work with his tired ass anyway, due to his ego and lack of work ethic. So quite literally, go fuck yourself. You are the sellout here, Terrence Howard, and made sure to, tag him in the situation, which I do have that tweet here, so I don't know. So yeah, there's his post or whatever, and make sure to put him in there. Shout out to not Chris Evans or not Captain America, because there's this guy on Twitter by the name of Chris Evans, but he had to put it not Captain America, because then people would think it was him. Which I thought was like, that's the irony of it all, that you actually put that out there. And yeah, so I didn't know that was a right-wing podcast until I was told that it was a right-wing podcast. But wait, there's more. Because that wasn't the only thing he said. He also put "Dear at the Terrence Howard" and then posted it in his Instagram stories, and said, maybe you wouldn't feel so emasculated by feminism if your manhood was rooted in something other than oppressing women. Because a lot of what he was saying, it did feel that he was trying to, the only way that he felt that he was complete as a man is that he had to emasculate other people. And that's another thing I don't like either. When you have certain men that run around here and think like, oh, I have to put you down, I have to emasculate you, I have to treat you like crap in order for me to feel superior. And so you had to go on a conservative podcast in order to make yourself feel some type of way, because ain't nobody checking for Terrence Howard in any other way. And there's so many other roles out there that you could do without having to emasculate who you are or have to bend over and do things. Now, we're not going to sit up here and try to act like the casting couch don't exist, because it does. But if people want to take that route for their career, that's on them. And if you don't want to do that, that's on you. That's great. Everybody doesn't have to follow the road that's mostly traveled. If you want to take the road less traveled, then that's great. You do that, but you don't have to put other people down and try to root your whole commentary in homophobia in order to make yourself feel like somebody, because you look like Boo Boo the Fool up there with that mess, with that stupid hat on, with a hoodie over your head, looking like a damn nut. Yeah, you literally look like you and Kanye West on that same stuff, and y'all both need a conservatorship. Oh, yeah, and he also put sincerely a real man. That's what he put at the end of his thing. And this was on the feminist vibe. That was a post that he shared. So yeah, so Wilson Cruz said what he said, and don't come for a openly comfortable homosexual in their skin, because us, we'll read your ass down to the floor, sir. So don't come for our community unless we send for you. And we don't want to see you being in no homosexual stuff, because we wouldn't want to see that anyway. I mean, you was cute back in the day when you was on Living Single. That was like the peak of your attractiveness. Now you look all sweaty, like you've been doing too much booger sugar laced with some Fenty, allegedly. So we don't want to see you in that light anyway. keep your pants up above your waist. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards to what Wilson Cruz had to say about Terrence Howard dragging him out in these streets because he want to come for the gays, which we ain't, that mind the business that page. We ain't do nothing to you, sir. Don't come over here trying to start your mess because you will get read down to the ground. So let me know what you guys think of this story in the comments down below. All right, let's see what other people saying. Yeah, we had a lot of crazy stuff going on with there was so much trauma going on in those days. The Iraq War, we had 9/11, we had Katrina, we had Columbine. Remember all those mass shootings and stuff? Like the late 90s into the 2000s was just crazy. So it was just it's a lot, and I feel like we're still trying to recover from a lot of those traumatic situations. Even though it was Trump that had fumbled COVID. hmm Yeah, and the part that was dumb was that the Democrats didn't combat that. Were like, yeah, this was not our fault. We have all the data. You could go on the website and read it. People ain't got time to read. People working multiple jobs trying to make ends meet and feed their families because y'all don't want to raise the minimum wage. And I'm talking about both sides. So when you don't want to help build better, wealth for everybody else and not just for a certain percentage of people, this is what happens. And now they frustrated. Now everybody's getting it. Plus, a huge portion of homosexuals aren't into kissing, gay or bi. Doesn't matter if you're not my mother. The ones that I just feel like we probably all emotionally screwed up because of homophobia. Like it took me a while to get around that whole guilt thing because of the way you're raised and religion and all that other stuff. So I feel like a lot of that plays into it too. It's an outstanding reaction of interview of Sam Cedar basically destroying the panel. One guy, Vinny, gets so offended he tells Hassan being on Twitch isn't a real job. Really? Because he making a lot of money over there on Twitch. What you talking about, Willis? I saw his speech too, where he gave at New York at one of the rallies that we had. The hands off rally. Now it's on fall. He got $500 million 5-year contract with Twitch to talk politics, be himself, and play video games. YouTube tried that, but they rather be a free thing because if they were to do what Twitch did, they would have to do pay version only. And for YouTube, the free version makes them more money. Yeah. And it's all about they want to make the money and then we don't make any. That's why a friend of mine was saying, like, he is a full-time content creator and not because of YouTube. Because YouTube's money is crap. You got to be doing this for like probably 15 years plus because those are the people in the beginning. So they have to keep getting that money. Whereas everybody else is like, we got to go to other conglomerates to make money, which is why I said I'm definitely eyeing doing Patreons and just doing specific videos about like concert reviews, movie reviews, album reviews, where we go through each of the music and then I give my critique. So when Lady Gaga or somebody or Madonna comes out with her new album, I'll just go and basically do a whole review of that. We break down each song. Because hearing from people actually say, "Oh yeah, I just love your review of of Kylie's Tension tour and the accuracy of it all," and then me getting into the technical aspect of these concerts as well and the behind the scenes of what I see and all the other things. But you're doing all of that within reason because I can't tell everything. But there's certain things where it's like, if I could get away with it, I will let y'all know. And you get that exclusive on the Patreon. But I'm going to probably work on that within the next month. I got to see how that is. I wonder how Mariah and Madonna feels now. Wait, what I missed with this one? Are you talking about musicians who jumped into acting and their movies bombed? Today is the 20th year anniversary of the emancipation of Mimi. Mariah will always be. And look, yesterday was the 25th anniversary of Oops, I Did It Again. I'm like, yeah, I am getting old. It's like, how is that song 25 years old? That's like, damn, it felt like that song came out like 10 years ago. When I read 25, I was like, a quarter of a damn century. I can't believe it. But anyway, let's move on. Since we talking about homosexuals, we're gonna talk about somebody who apparently is all got their titties in a twist about homosexual sex to somebody who likes the homosexual sex. So let's get into Bobby Berk, who no longer works over there at what's that channel? Queer Eye. Is anybody watching that show? I can't tell. Look, I ain't never liked Queer Eye, but I will say this: I felt like out of all the people over there, I like Bobby Burke because Bobby to me always felt like he was the most real and the most authentic. All them other ones, they just give me like y'all just be hammering it up for the cameras. So, Bobby recently spoke to Pride Media about the best part of being a homosexual, what he said queer, and what straight people could learn from the Leviticua community. That would be LGBTQ plus for those of you who don't watch the show a lot. Or if you're new, that's what Leviticua means. So one of the many reasons fans fell in love with Bobby during his time on Queer Eye was because he always was unapologetically himself, which is what I just said. Now, while attending the 36th annual GLAAD Media Awards, the talented interior designer had no problem being completely honest when he was asked to reveal his favorite part about being queer. He said the sex. That and the way our community loves and support each other. He laughs. Our community allows each and every one of us to be an individual and to be our unique selves. Well, do I need to be the one to burst the bubble? Because that last part is not necessarily true. A lot of times, our community can be very divisive and very cliquish, where it's like we only want a certain amount of people that we show respect to, and then there's certain aspects of the community that we kind of just thumb our nose at. So we have to work on that supporting each other part. We still got a ways to go with that, especially when it comes to the gays versus the lesbians, the gays versus the trans. How y'all don't respect trans people when if it wasn't for trans people, y'all would not be having half the rights we got today. Quiet as it's kept. That and the femme queens and the drag queens, a lot of them was out there fighting them fights while y'all out here trying to pretend y'all butch. So there's still things that we got to work on in our community. But I will say, the sex is the best part of being a homosexual. Like, who knows how to put it down in the bedroom with a man than a man who knows what a man wants? What a man wants, what a man needs, whatever makes you happy to set you free. And I'm grateful for that penis you put on me. What a man want. Remember when Christina was dating that homosexual back in the day? What's that little Spanish boy name when she was doing him during the beginning of her career? Remember that? Look, every girl gets with a man that turns out to be a collateral homosexual. I don't make the news, I just report it. So they said that we are such a diverse community, race-wise, gender-wise, fashion-wise, everything. A lot of other communities, straight people are the same often. Our community embraces you for being whoever the hell you want to be on every end of the spectrum. So the love felt within the Leviticua community also extends to allies and beyond, as Berk was quick to point out, the inclusive nature that defines queer events and clubs. Saying straight people always say how when they go to gay clubs, I've never felt more accepted and loved than when I do when I go to a gay club. I've always held that with such a badge of honor. Our community not only accepts each other, but accepts everyone because that's what it's all about. They could take some notes. Well, I do agree that straight people need to be a little more open when it comes to us. Like y'all thinking that we out here trying to convert y'all and it's an agenda, and we out here trying to recruit y'all like y'all we some damn Jehovah Witnesses or Scientologists. Like we just going door to door trying to give y'all a pamphlet and say, "Come be a faggot with the rest of us." It's like, no, that's not what we out here trying to do. We out here trying to live our life and be ourselves without judgment, ridicule, and all that good stuff. But y'all want to come up in here with y'all BS because we out here living our lives and being happy, and you're mad because you're stuck in the situation you're with. Nobody told you to go off, get married, and have kids with them people. And the fact that we don't have to do that, unless that's what you want to do, now you want to come hating on our situation because there's that sense of freedom. And I really wish that instead of a lot of you homosexuals out here trying to assimilate to straightness or the idea of what straight is, that y'all understand your superpower as a homosexual. And understand that, yeah, when you in that whole situation, being your authentic self is your superpower. There are people who are hating on the fact that they cannot be their authentic selves. So see that as a strength. But And I don't mind. I'm of two minds about the straight in the clubs part. Because while I am here for when a lot of the tuna, the tilapia, y'all want to come up in there with your girlfriends and kiki with us in the clubs and come to our drag shows and all the other stuff. The one thing I do not like is when a lot of y'all come up in our space and try to run it like it's y'all shit. It's like, pump your brakes. Remember, you are a guest in our house. Y'all don't run this stuff. Y'all don't come up in here. You don't touch the drag queens. You don't try to overshadow the drag queens because if they get into reading, you ain't gonna like it. And some of y'all, when y'all get a little drunk, y'all do that because look, straight people been coming to our establishments since I was in the clubs in the 90s, well, the 2000s, I'll say. When I started going to clubs and all other stuff. And, I was underage going in the 90s, sneaking up into certain establishments too, especially when you knew people that can get you up in there. But for the most part, when it comes down to it, I don't mind straight people coming in. It's just be respectful of the establishments, especially when y'all be trying to do your little bridal parties, whatever the case is, and y'all come to the drag brunches and you come to the happy hours and all that stuff. A lot of times when we had our establishments, especially me growing up, when I would work my Monday through Friday jobs or whatever the case is, or I was doing my odd jobs and things, after work, that was what I did. I looked forward to going to Splash or meeting up with friends and going to certain bars and clubs, meeting up after work, and we go out for drinks, flirt with the boys, and have a good old time. I kind of miss those days. But I was like, I don't want to take my behind back up in the club no more. So yeah, I do. I am going to go and fully agree with him that yeah, the best part about being a homosexual is the sex part. I mean, there's so many things you could do with a man. And that's all I'll say on that. I'm trying to keep it as PG as possible. PG-13. So I'll say all this to say, what do y'all think of this story in regards to what Bobby Berk had to say? Not only on the sex being the best part of being a homosexual, but also the unification of our community, which I'm like, I don't know, maybe you come at it from a white perspective, but if you are a queer person of color, we beg to differ in some of them situations. So whatever your thoughts are on this matter, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Oh yeah, I read that one right. You said, yep, and I watched the music video as soon as it hit me. Look at you honoring and doing midnight. They said that Lady Gaga, the song that she does where she talks about it being 11:59 and stuff, that she literally sang the song and made sure that she hit the note or sang that part at 11:59. So she kept her eye on the clock the whole time. So that's why specifically she started at the time. I was like, damn, the timing y'all did on that, y'all must have really rehearsed that and made it feel like, okay, so at what part do I know like at 11:59 I'm gonna say that line and make sure it's literally 11:59. Terrence was in. Oh, you saying Terrence was in Glitter and Mimi was the ghost? Oh yeah. Oh, I don't know why that slipped my mind. It was like, yeah, he was a ghost town with Madonna. Totally forgot about that. And then Glitter. He's so full of shit. Theo Vaughn and that Triple X Bear gay adult film star, they're slamming the overweight guy for doing gay adult film. I didn't even get to watch that video yet. I gotta check it out. Shout out to Nico. I know Nico Aesthetics. Nico and I cool. I need to check that video because I meant to watch. I've been so far behind on stuff. That's why I said I'm gonna catch up. I'm gonna try to catch up on movies and stuff tonight, and then tomorrow I might have to just do a whole YouTube binge of political stuff, entertainment news stuff that I've been missing out on for the past couple of days because I'm so far behind. So I got a lot of catching up to do. So that way, when I come back on here on Monday, I can give y'all like a regular show, and I feel like I'm all caught up. But I'm trying to remember who's Triple X Bear. And wait a minute, why is Theo Vaughn? Theo Vaughn? Oh, you're talking about Drake Vaughn. Wait a minute, Drake Vaughn did. I know Drake Vaughn, didn't he? Isn't he a Men.com exclusive? And then he also does footage. I mean, he did some stuff with, what's the name? Santana? Who, she be slurping up the girls. Shout out to that vacuum. She got that Hoover for a mouth. Um, she be slurping up the girls. And so, Yeah, I was hearing something about because I remember seeing. I was like, "Oh, so now we open minded over here now in the world of adult performances. Well, y'all got this old big queen doing mid.com stuff, and y'all open minded about it because I know like Santana Triple XL was or Triple X, whatever how he goes by, was talking about how I did notice that he was like big on OF and social media and things, but I didn't know he was like now you're graduating over into mainstream adult performance type stuff. And I haven't really been paying attention to the mainstream stuff like that. So I definitely got to check out that video to see what he's talking about so that way I can get a little more nuance. Um, but I think you're talking about Drake Vaughn because you know Theo Vaughn, that's the former Real Worlder who now is a conservative podcaster. But anyway, let's move on, y'all, and let's get into some drag race news because you know we are a week away. Yesterday was a Lollapalooza where they brought all the eliminated queens back, and they had to lip sync for something. I don't know. To be honest, I didn't get to watch it last night. I told y'all after I got home, I was out. I was exhausted. So I didn't really get to watch Drag Race and I didn't see the lip sync smackdown or whatever you want to call it. But look, we are a week away from who gets who will be our 17th queen crowned as America's next drag superstar, where she walks away with 200K, a crown and a damn scepter. And you already know RuPaul has gotten so lazy with this damn show. That bitch don't even get herself up behind that desk to crown the queens anymore. Now I guess they'll just have Nymphia come out and put it on her head while she sits behind that damn desk in a pair of damn sweats. Yeah, we on to you, sis. That's why she mad at one of the girls for pointing it out. She was like, stand up for us, since you the queen of fashion. But anyway, so we got our final four, which you know is Lexi Love, Anya Nerve, Jewel Sparkles, and Sam Starr. And, you know, everybody gagged because we lost Susie too. So yeah, they're our final four. But to be honest, like I said, the last time Susie 2 went home because quite frankly, she wasn't giving Vegas. She was giving Broadway. But then if you think about it, that Meet Me in the Gift Shop song, that has got to be one of the worst songs they've ever concocted on this series. It's like now it's all about we already knew like Drag Race is all about selling products. It's never really been about the queens per se, but it's become more and more obvious. That's why I think why a lot of the fandom is getting frustrated with this whole concept of Drag Race now, because now it's all about let's try to sell the Vegas show. And if you were trying to sell the Vegas show, if you really wanted these queens to stand out of the show, like, okay, now which one of them is really giving us what we need in regards to this performance? Should you have them like write their own individual lyrics? I mean, I don't think the lyrics would have made it into the regular show, but you should have had them kind of work on the song together instead of them just singing parts of the other people and then just getting up there doing the choreography and that being it. It was just lackluster. It was disappointing. I didn't like it, as you can tell. So Rue, as you know, has passed the power over to the viewers, asking them whose team they are. So are you team On Your Nerve, team Lexi Love, team Jewel Sparkles, or team Sam Star? And I hate when they do the whole team thing because it just sounds so stupid. But I get it; it's TV. They got to do what they got to do. Now, I should point out that the social media pages posted the cast promos of each of the top four, encouraging fans to share love for their favorite queen. So the season 17 finale, you know, it's supposed to be coming out on April 18th. So we should just, I want to remind you when we're going to be getting it. And they said that, to be honest, I feel like the way that they talk about it in this order, I felt like this will be the order that Rue will put it anyway. So according to the stats, Sam Starr is currently fourth in the running at the time of reporting, amassing 41,000 likes on her hashtag Team Sam Star Instagram post, while Louisville's doll, Lexi Love, is third with 63,000 likes backing hashtag Team Lexi Love. So I've always felt in my heart of hearts, like after watching the show, because I thought Susie was gonna make it to the end, but then after seeing the way that the show was shifting in a way, I was like, oh no, Susie's not gonna be in the top four. Lexi's gonna be in the top four, but did I think she would be in the top two? No. I always thought that Sam Star or Lexi Love, it would be a toss up which one of them would end up in fourth place. And so Yeah, I could definitely see Sam Starr coming in fourth, Lexi being eliminated next at 3, and the two queens that are going to go head to head once again would be Jewel Sparkles and Anya Nerve. But the thing with Anya Nerve is, Anya gonna have to step her pussy up because that last lip sync that she did up against Jules damn near ate her up on that damn stage. That's why I had to do the double Shantae. So I don't think that. So that's what Anya's gonna have to do. Like Anya's gonna have to really step it up, unless we get something with the production where they choose a song where it's just like, we've heard stunts with them pulling that before. They want to pull a song where they feel like it would go in the favor of who they would like to win the show. But I feel like, based on track record, if you have Anya go up against Jules, Anya surpasses Jules in regards of the many challenge wins and how she's been consistent with how she's performed on the show. So, in my opinion, I've always had it Team Anya Nerve from the beginning. I'm still mad at y'all for not giving it to Safira Cristal last year, but we get it. Y'all wanted to have an Asian girl win. It felt very that. So y'all gave it to her. But this year, it's Anya got to win it. And I love Jules. I thought, Jules has been the dark horse of the season. She surprised the hell out of me. Because no shade, and y'all already know this because I've said it in many videos before. I've been real consistent with how I've been feeling about this show this season. I've never really flip-flopped as much, like gone back and forth on my opinions. I've always felt that I've been very very steadfast in my opinion on what's been going on with Drag Race. But I wasn't really saying it for Jules in the beginning. I didn't think that she was really standing out, but I think once it started, the herd started to clear. Once Arietti ass was gone, I think that's when Jules was forced to kind of come out of her shell because I felt like she was fading into the background. And I don't know if it was because she was kikiing with Arietti and Arietti's energy was rubbing off on her and was kind of sucking out her talent. But once Arietti sashayed away for doing that little shady mess that she did on the show, then I feel like at that point, Jules woke the hell up and we started to see a shift in how she was performing on the show. So they said as at the time, at the moment, Anya is out up front by quite some way, securing a staggering 592,000 likes on her Team Anya Nerve post, while Jules, hashtag Team Jules Sparkles, has gained a similarly impressive 460,000 likes. So it seemed like a lot of people looking like they want Anya to win. So both Anya and Jules' posts are thought to be the most liked Drag Race hashtag team posts in the show's history. Now, while some fans have wondered whether social media bots might be involved in the huge numbers, there still appears to be a strong consensus online that Anya and Jules are the fandom's favorite picks. And at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because it's all up to Mama Ru to decide who she's going to crown to be America's next drag superstar. So now in the comment section of the hashtag team post, celebrities and fellow Drag Race alum have been sounding off on and sharing their support, with Brazilian drag superstar Pablo Vittar, Olympic diver Tom Daley, and season 16's Morphine Love Dion all seemingly declaring themselves hashtag Team Jules, while author Preston Mitchum on social media star Tyler Oakley are hashtag Team Anya. Where the hell is Tyler Oakley? I haven't seen him in a minute. He cute though, but and they said, I like a little nerdy type because they freaks in the damn bedroom. Of course, the competition isn't over until the supremely tall lady sings, or rather decides. But when Anya Nerve securing the season's most impressive track record, including 4 wins, and Jules only having the season's most satisfying arc, it's likely there will be some fandom upset if one of them isn't crowned. And I feel like, to me, when I look at it, well, based on this article from Pink News, it does feel like that when you look at Jules, she had a great story this season. A great story, especially, coming off of the makeover challenge where her father, like, how many fathers y'all know into a room and say, "Hey, queen," to their homosexual son, and then is willing to get made over in drag and supports his son at his drag events? Like, who would not kill to have that type of parent? Or like when you look at Sam Starr's mother, but it's to me, I feel like it hits a stronger chord when it's a dad doing it for his son rather than a mother doing it for her son, because there's a lot of mothers out here who love upon their children, even the homosexual ones. But a dad doing it and being so comfortable in his sexuality and his manhood, see, Terrence Howard, that is what And that's the identifying part of a real man. If you want to know what a real man is, go look at Jewel Sparkle's daddy. You can learn a thing or three instead of you thinking about band cards and all that other crap you saying. But like I said before, I do feel like that it kind of was in the cards where it's like, if you look at it, now that Susie's out of the picture, I've always felt like, okay, yeah, Jules and Anya are going to be the top two. And hopefully, fingers crossed, that Anya will be the one to take home the crown, because in regards of what, following the challenges and winning the challenges and everything, she definitely deserves to walk away with the season 17 crown of being crowned America's Next Drag Superstar. So that's what my money's on. My money is on hashtag Team Anya, and I want to hear from you all. So who do you guys think should walk away with the crown over here on good old Drag Race? So whatever your thoughts are you hashtag Team Lexi Love? Are you hashtag, now I feel like I'm doing RuPaul job. Are you hashtag On Your Nerve? Are you hashtag Jewel Sparkles? Or are you hashtag Sam Star? Definitely let me know what your thoughts are on this story in the comments down below. All right, so now I'm gonna get to y'all comments because I see them up there. But before we do, I want to wrap this up with the final topic, and then we'll get to the comments. So let's get into this story about Eric Dane. Shout out to McSteamy, because while we're not getting McDreamy over here in Scream 7, unfortunately, his partner in crime, McSteamy, who definitely is steamy, has been diagnosed with ALS. So shout out to him. So Grey's Anatomy and Euphoria star Eric Dane has revealed that he's been diagnosed with amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, which is ALS for short. It's also known as Lou Gehrig's disease. The 52-year-old actor stated that his diagnosis will not affect him returning to Euphoria season 3. He will be on the HBO series' set in the coming days, saying, quote, "I have been diagnosed with ALS. I am grateful to have my loving family by my side as we navigate this next chapter." The actor is married to Rebecca Gayheart, and the couple share 2 children. Oh, they're still together? Why did I think that he and Rebecca divorced? But anyway, they're still together. And he said they share 2 children, Billy Beatrice, 15, and Georgia Geraldine, who's 13. So they got 2 daughters. He says, "I feel fortunate that I am able to continue working, and I'm looking forward to returning to set to Euphoria next week. I kindly ask that you give my family and I privacy during this time." And this is what he told People magazine. So now Daniel stars as the Jacobs family patriarch on Euphoria and A Damn Free. First of all, can I shout out to Derek Dane, because his arc on Euphoria, child, I be getting my life when I be watching that show. I live for him on there. And he's sexy as hell, Hunter Schafer and the men's. And then you saw when he had that homosexual relationship back when he was in high school. That episode was everything. When they were showing like him in his younger years. That was season 2. So he plays the Jacobs family patriarch, Jacob Elordi's daddy. It's set to begin production of season 3 on the hit show on April 14th. So in 3 days, he will be back to work. Well, actually, April 14th, that's 2 days. So that's Monday. ALS is a rare degenerative disease that causes progressive paralysis of the muscles. Patients first experience twitching or weakness in a limb, often followed by slurred speech. According to the Mayo Clinic, because the disease affects the nerve cells in the brain and spine that control muscle movement, patients slowly lose their ability to speak, eat, walk, and breathe independently. There's no cure for ALS, and people usually live 3 to 5 years after diagnosis, according to the Muscular Dystrophy Association. However, some patients can live decades. Now, in addition to Dane, other notable stars who have been diagnosed with ALS include Aaron Lazar, John Driscoll Hopkins, Eric Stevens, Joe Bonsall, Roberta Flack, who just passed away, by the way, Kenneth Mitchell, and Stephen Hawking. So those are all the people that, as we know, suffer from ALS. But I wonder if with the show, hopefully he'll be able to power through while he's doing the show, because I don't know if they're gonna write it into Euphoria, but get in as many parts as you can until you're not able to do what you need to do. I would say, yeah, like kind of like Bruce Willis. The only problem with Bruce Willis is y'all kept putting him in so many of those horrible ass straight to cable movies that it's like He was such an icon at one point. Y'all kept putting him on all them old terrible straight to Hulu movies, I should call it, because that's where a lot of them ended up. And then, it was what it was. So yeah. So shout out to you, Eric Dane. I'm looking forward to seeing you in the upcoming season of Euphoria and any other projects you have going on, as long as they're actually worth me wanting to watch. Because I don't just be watching things because people in it. If it's bad, I ain't watching it. That's like a friend of mine was somebody. He was watching that new movie with Mila Jovovich and Dave Bautista that was directed by her husband. I was like, okay, but you let me know how it is, because I already know anything Paul W.S. Anderson filmmaking behind touches is just bad. But then I do like his earlier stuff. Like, he did put out some good movies. I did like I think, what did he do? Alien versus Predator. I did like Mortal Kombat. I liked a lot of his earlier stuff. But the new stuff is a job, especially that last Resident Evil movie. So I say all this to say, what do you guys think of this story in regards of what's going on with Eric Dane announcing that he has ALS and that there is no cure apparently for this disease? So whatever your thoughts are, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Oh, speaking of ALS, even though he doesn't have ALS, he has Parkinson's. Shout out to Michael J. Fox. He was at the Knicks game yesterday too, along with his wife. Okay, let me go up. Susie surprised me with that lip sync last night. Well, let me see. I'm gonna definitely check that out later. And that's why I was like, I can't really speak on it because I didn't watch the show. This episode was off mostly because it was filmed 2 weeks ago, and you could tell the girls got. They already immediately, it was like, yeah, y'all been off the air for like a couple of months, and already y'all coming out with reenacting the scene from Face Off. Y'all got whole new faces, y'all got bloated cheeks, you got new lips. I'm like, Papa, who this woman up here performing? That's what you be wanting to get half the time with these queens. Who is that? Who is she? That's what you need to be saying. They need to play Who Is She RuPaul song every time these queens come out now, because it's like, I don't recall you looking like that when you first started filming. And you probably will be able to tell. It's like, okay, so this was filmed recently. You said you could tell the girls got feeling, lost their original confessional shirt. Corey had eyebrows. It fell off and like something was missing. Well, I'll definitely watch it. And then I think on Monday what I'll do is I will watch this. When I watch the show, I'll probably do a recap on Monday and give my overall opinion on the show. And depending on how the episode is, I don't know if I'm going to do a lengthy video, because I'm like, was it even that? Is that even worth like spending a good 5 to 10 minutes talking about? Oh, so they announced that when All Stars 10 is coming. All Stars 10 starts May 9th. That's literally next month. It's like right around the corner. It's like, what, 3 weeks? No, 4. Yeah. Well, what's today? Today is the 12th. Um, Probably about a month from now. We'll say a month from now. So yeah, and that's when Onyx was revealing that they restarted filming the rest of All Stars 10, which is why I guess they'll be able to have it out by then. So it makes sense. Lexi has all these followers, but can't get half of them to like her post. So you think there's some bots? You think there's some bots going on? Team Sam Star, team the child, you got to pick one. You can't pick two, especially when both of them are up there. I said Anya is also more likable. Yeah, a lot of people, especially Latinos, want her to be the first Latina to win since the logo era. But like, um, like you said, but like poor Sam, if only she had a Republican, she didn't have a Republican face. He is cute though. Like I would definitely tell. Like if I had the opportunity to sleep with Sam Star, trust and believe, we'd roll around in the bed. But I hate the fact that he gets that reputation that he's got that whole Republican streak to him, because he was just on Roscoe's and they were all applauding the fact that Trinity left. Where she live? Florida? Texas? She lives in some conservative damn town. I think it was Florida. She left Florida finally and moved to LA. I'm like, girl, why was you still living in a red state? Like, I don't understand that. My friend Jamie says Anya lives in the same. Oh, wait, Anya lives in Florida? Oh, wait, where does your friend Jamie live? I should ask that. I mean, don't get me wrong. I would love a Latina to win, But to me, I don't want somebody to win just because y'all want the first somebody to win. Like, you have to be able to check all the boxes. I'm still mad over the fact that y'all didn't give it to Roxy Andrews during her All-Star season. We all knew she was and I love Angeria, but Roxy should have won that last All-Star season. Like, that was just some bullshit. Like I said, I was more supportive. Yeah, I was that, and I was thinking about that in my head too. But I don't know. For some reason, I just wanted to give Jules her moment, and I didn't want to like merge everybody up in there. But since you brought up in the conversation, we'll talk about it. Beware for full spoilers for All Stars 10. They're out, and I've been dodging them all week. They dropped on Wednesday, and I don't want to know any of them. Wait, what do you mean full spoilers? Do you mean like beyond who's actually on the show? But wait a minute. Who is leaking all these damn spoilers? That's what I don't understand. Like, I'm definitely avoiding spoilers. I don't want to know anything about the show. I want to go in completely blind. Like, if we could sit and do a whole, okay, who's the queens that's going to be on the show? I'll wait until, you know what? I'm going to just wait until Drag Race drops the All-Star season, and then I'll do it. Oh, maybe I could start doing the reviews of All-Stars on Patreon too. Y'all give me ideas. I'm going to start adding all that to the Patreon, bitch. And for a fee, you can just hear me spill the tea. He said the format is totally different than it's been. Well, I mean, I've heard about the format, but I'll just wait. So I also saw Chaperone as one of the guest judges for All Star. Well, yeah, I could definitely see. Yeah, it makes sense to have Chaperone up in there. The backstory episode makes me emotional when I first saw it. Even when I watch it now, it reminds me of the DL guy I was with when I was in high school. Wait, who? What's the Cal story backstory? Who's that? Am I missing something? You know, sometimes I be drawing a blank on certain names. There's supposed to be a time jump in the third season of Euphoria. Yeah, I would think they would be. Should it be early 20s though? Because I felt like in that last season they were in at the end of weren't they all like in that final season of high school or were they juniors? I would definitely make it seem like if you're for it, I would push mid 20s. I mean, Zendaya is damn near 30. I think majority of the cast is like pushing 30, if not in their 30s. Some of them. I would push mid 20s. So if y'all gonna do a time jump, do a 10-year time jump. Remember Kenneth Mitchell? He had ALS and died like 2 years after he went public with his diagnosis. He was probably fighting that for a long damn time. Oh, you say your friend lives in Ohio? Okay. You. Oh, was she out there living in Cleveland? He said he saw Anya in a Control T-shirt for a Janet concert in Cleveland. Oh, come on. We love Control. The spoilers of the episode they just filmed after episode 9. There's a producer or someone on set that spills the tea on Reddit every. Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that. I need them to find out who it is so they can fire them. Like, check their phones and shit. Oh, I don't know why I'm having a blank. I forgot that was his damn name. I was like, wait, why does that name sound familiar? And I couldn't place it. But yeah, Cal is his name. So I gotta go back up and oh, you talking about the Cal backstory. Yeah, it was like yeah, that definitely was a good episode. I saw their spoilers on YouTube. It's probably from one of the YouTube channels that I blocked. Because when you know what I do now is don't recommend me certain ones because there are ones that literally put the spoiler in the headline with the photo. And I'm like, you asshole. And so I'd be like, don't recommend me. Certain video channels surrounding that. Because everybody wants those clicks and likes. The season 17 Lollapalooza was filmed March 26, 27. The finale was filmed March 28th. All Stars 9 just finished. Oh, you mean 10? Wait, why am I having a blonde moment? I'm like, wait, today? Yeah, because I keep forgetting today is the 12th. So it wasn't that long ago that they filmed it. But damn, why they wait? They filmed all of this last month. They've been posting them on Reddit since season 7. Yeah, I usually try to avoid all the Reddit spoilers. I've been doing that for a while, but I do I do follow Drag Race Reddit stuff. But if it's something that where I know it's going to be a potential spoiler, I just don't read it. So I try to stay away from it. But anyway, All right, y'all. So we're at the end of today's show. I want to thank you all for tuning in to the latest episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. If you have not done so, please do me a solid and hit that like button and that subscribe button. Also, smash the notification bell so that way you know when we go live with a brand new episode of Chris Avalon Unfiltered. I'll be back on Monday with more celebrity news and gossip to spill with you all because I'm sure by that time there should be a lot more stuff to come out and that I'll be able to kiki with y'all with on here. Now, speaking of kiki, I want to thank y'all who are in the comments kikiing with me on this messy live chat and all that good stuff. So yeah, love you all for watching. Thank you all for tuning in. And until next time, ciao, darlings.